It is a cold, dreary night in Utah Valley as the Wolverines get set to take on Tarleton State. The Texans are in town. Hello again, everybody. I am Jordan Bianucci. Alongside my partner, Ryan Pickens, we welcome you into UCCU Ballpark for the first of the first game of a four-game series between these two WAC clubs. And with that, I'll send it over to Ryan with the lineups.
All right, let's take a look at the lineups first for the visiting for Tarleton State for the Texans. They're 12-23 overall, 5-11 in the WAC. Brian Aguilar, the shortstop, leads off. Tyler Fowler, the designated hitter, hits in the two spot. Camilo Thomas Rivera, the second baseman, hits third, while Blake Burns hitting cleanup. London Green, the right fielder, hitting fifth. Wade Rayburn, the center fielder, will hit in the sixth spot. Colby Seltzer, the left fielder, hits seventh. Dean Frew, the third baseman, will hit eighth. And then Spencer Bloom, the catcher, will round out the order and bat ninth. The Texans will be facing UVU senior right-hander Jesse Schmidt. Schmidt having a tough start to his 2021 campaign, a 1-5 record, making his eighth start, has gone 28 innings for the Wolverines. And we'll see what he does here against his Tarleton lineup tonight. Defensively for the Wolverines in the outfield, Jeff Ahrens is in left. Andrew Hacker, after a nice series finale on Sunday on the road, back in there tonight in center field for the Wolverines. In right, Alexander Marco on the infield, Mick Madsen at third, Garrett Broussard at short, Mitch Morales over at second with Cade Polson at first, behind the plate and catching Drew Sims. And Jordan, here we go. This is a key series for the Wolverines, an opportunity. You're about one game or so behind Tarleton for the next spot in the WAC. And even though the Texans don't make the WAC tournament, you're not too far behind Seattle for the for the 5 spot in the WAC tournament for seeding. This is a big one for Utah Valley here. If they can win a series, maybe take at least 3 out of the 4, have an opportunity, and it all starts tonight. You got to get off to a good start.
I could not have said it better myself, Ryan. Utah Valley, simply put, they need to win. They are in the cellar right now in the WAC. As Ryan mentioned, top 6 teams go to the tournament. The Wolverines currently 5th. Just a game, I believe, ahead of Northern Colorado. First pitch on the way, swung on, smashed foul on the third base side. First pitch at 6:01 p.m. The game time temperature is 41 degrees and wet. Ball misses down and away from Schmidt. It is 1-1 to Brian Aguilar, the shortstop for Tarleton. The Wolverines dropped 3 of 4 last weekend at UTRGV. Breaking ball misses down and away, and it's 2-1. Utah Valley got the lone win on Saturday, thanks to some heroics in the extra innings, in the 11th inning to be specific, as there's a strike on the outside corner. It's 2-2 to Aguilar, hitting .301 on the year. Andrew Hacker came up big for Utah Valley with a home run that in extra innings that put the Wolverines ahead, and they won that game. So they salvaged one last weekend. Off to a good start here as Aguilar swings and misses. He's down on strikes. 1 away. So that'll bring up Tyler Fowler, the senior, batting .290. No homers. And as I say that, I beg your pardon, 3 home runs. 15 men batted home. Switch hitter hitting from the left side. Fastball misses down in the turf. Ball 1. A lot of rain pre-game here in Orem, and in past years perhaps would have washed us out, but not on the new field turf that was installed before the 2020 season. Big swing and a miss here at a breaking ball, and it's 1-1.
And this really is the first test that we're going to see of how this turf plays when it gets a little bit wet. Be interesting to see if the ball, how on some hard-hit ground balls, whether the ball kind of skids quicker or whether or not it's going to kind of fall. Like right there, you kind of see it just plays like a normal hop for Jeff Ahrens.
Yeah, a little looping liner into left, and with one man out, Fowler singles to the opposite field. That brings up Thomas Rivera. I should say Camilo Thomas Rivera. Right-handed batter. And Tarleton threatening right away. They're playing pretty good ball. They took 3 of 4 from Seattle last weekend. Their first WAC series win ever, as the Texans are new to the WAC. First pitch slider misses down and away. Ball 1 to Thomas Rivera. Hitting .294, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. Tarleton can hit, Ryan. They've swung the bats well this year. Schmidt from the stretch. Fastball misses down and away, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at their lineup, I mean, their first 6 hitters are all hitting over 280 on the year. I mean, really doing a nice job. And this is going to be a test for that Utah Valley pitching staff. Have they made the necessary adjustments they've needed to make? A big first strikeout from Jesse Schmidt, followed by, a base hit. Now you have to try to work around that. And this is where you'd like to see Schmidt kind of come back either with a strikeout, a ground ball, something just to kind of get that momentum going again right here, Jordan, because this is, I feel like, a big start for Jesse Schmidt here on the season, because if you can get him pitching well in that Friday night spot the rest of the way, you can kind of maybe change your path a little bit to Mesa.
Schmidt ready. Here comes the 2-1. A big swing and a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Well, one thing the Wolverines have done well this season is turn the double play ball, and they would love to get one of those right now. Man at first base with just 1 out here on the top of the first, 0-0 our score. The Wolverines have turned 25 double plays on the season. That is ranked 20th in the nation. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a little squibber back to the mound, or in between for the mound and home plate, I should say. Up with it, Schmidt throws to first. And now they're saying, no, they got him. That's an out. I saw both the home plate umpire, Matt McMahon, and the first base umpire, Michael Chukerman, throw up the hands, and they were just saying timeout after that. They're getting the wet ball out of play. So with 2 down, taking second is Fowler. Here is Burns. Burns, a left-handed batter, open stance. 2 down in the inning. Here it comes. Breaking ball off the outside. So right here, right away in the first inning, we've seen Schmidt really lead with the breaking stuff. Pitch him backwards early on. A swing and a looping liner into right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. They're going to send Fowler the throw, cut off. It's 1-0 Texans. And it is just so it goes right now for Utah Valley. They've had such a tough time getting through a clean first inning. For Burns, 13th RBI of the season. That brings up Green. London Green, a junior, hitting .281. The pitch to him, runner takes off, swing and a chopper foul.
I'm interested to see how, because we haven't really seen a lot of Tarleton this year, or really before this year, Jordan, and I'm interested to kind of see a lot of the teams in the WAC, you and I together, we've seen them a lot where you kind of know what style they're going to play as we kind of go. I'm interested to see kind of how Tarleton plays in their style. Are they going to try to manufacture runs? Are they going to try to hit and run? Like what's going to be on a night like tonight where it's, just damp and just wet outside? You have to kind of wonder if you might see both coaches try to manufacture more runs than what we're used to seeing from both teams.
Well, they still a lot of bases. That ball misses down and in. That pitch misses down and in, I should say. 2-1. I say 2-1. I beg your pardon. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. To Green. He swings and hits a chopper past the diving Morales and into right field. It caromed off his glove. Marco comes up firing, well laid at third base. A nice job by Matson to corral that hopper on the throw to keep Green at first base. And the Texans really threatening here in the first inning. So definitely a base hit there for Green. A valiant effort by Morales, making a headlong dive to his left. But he's unable to come up with it. And runners will be on the quarters for Wade Rayburn. Rayburn, a left-handed batter. Well, a big moment early in this game. 1-0. Tarleton, Utah Valley can ill afford to fall far behind even in the early innings. They've struggled so mightily with the bats this season as a fastball misses up high, ball 1. Rayburn on the year, a senior hitting .288. No homers, 10 men batted home. Check on the runner. Polson thought they had him, but back in diving is Green. Green has stolen 8 bases this season. He has been caught 3 times. So a strikeout, a single, a ground out, and then 2 more singles here in the first for the Texans. Again, checking on the runner is Schmidt. Well, currently, we were talking about the standings. Utah Valley, second to last place in the WAC. They're a game behind this Tarleton club, and the Wolverines are a game in front of Northern Colorado. There goes the runner, a swing and a foul tip out of the glove of Sims. So Green, who has tremendous speed, will head back to first base. Two men on, 2 men out. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. There's a mighty hack at a pitch up in the zone by Rayburn. One, a swing and a ground ball, 2 pulsing at first, a nice job with the backhand. He'll step on first base, and the inning is over. The Texans get 1 run on 3 hits. They leave a pair stranded on the corners. We go to the last half of the first inning. It's the Texans 1, the Wolverines. Coming up.
Bottom of the first inning here in Orem, 1-0 Texans, as Utah Valley will have their first time at the plate here in this one, and Garrett Broussard getting ready to stand in the box for the Wolverines. Mitch Morales sits in the 2 spot, followed by Alexander Marco. Cade Polson back in the cleanup spot with Drew Sims hitting 5th. Mick Madsen, the 3rd baseman, in the 6th spot. Payson Hayes will DH, hitting 7th. Jeff Aarons hits 8th. Andrew Hacker will round out the order and bat 9th. Alex Pinedo on the mound, 2-4 on the year with a 4.76 ERA, making his 9th start of the year. Lefties have been tough on Utah Valley, and we'll see here what Utah Valley can do in the bottom of the first inning. We'll set the defense for you here in between pitches. Pinedo will work pretty quick. Here, we'll just wait to the end of the first hitter, and then we'll get the defense.
Hey, let's make plans on the run. That's all right. We're very flexible here in the booth. A swing and a foul back. It's 0-2. To Broussard. Pinedo, a transfer from New Mexico State. He sat out 2019, redshirted, I should say. The 0-2 to Broussard. A swing and a liner into center. Coming in is Rayburn. He has it, and there's 1 out.
Defensively for Tarleton in the outfield, Colby Seltzer's in left field, Wade Rayburn in center, London Green in right. On the infield from 3rd to 1st, Dean Frew with Brian Aguilar on the left side. On the right side, it will be Camille Thomas Rivera at 2nd, Blake Burns at 1st. Catching will be Spencer Bloom for Tarleton.
So here is Morales hitting from the right side, swing and a foul back. Well, we sound like a broken record, Ryan, but important for Utah Valley to answer back here after giving up a run in the top of the first. Try to get some of that energy back as Schmidt will take the mound in the 2nd inning. 1 strike offering, a swing and a miss. A beautiful breaking ball there from Pinedo, and it's 0-2. They say Pinedo's a fastball slider changeup. That almost had like a curveball sort of action to it. There's the fastball, painted the inside corner, strike 3 called. 2 down in the inning. So with the bases empty, 2 gone, here is Alexander Marco, the senior, hitting .274. From the windup, the left-hander comes home. Fastball misses down and in, ball 1. Well, Ryan, the radar gun may be broken, or every pitch we've seen in this game has been 71 miles per hour. I'm not sure which.
I'm just going to play a probability and say that that's probably not the case. I could be wrong, though, but probability I think would be on my side there.
Listen, you're the math guy. Fastball outside, it's 3-0.
If I'm the math guy, we're in some problems tonight with that. We might want to call in a statistician or something.
Fastball catches the outside corner. It's 3-1 now to Marco. Should Marco reach, it would be Polson. 1-0, Utah Valley trailing Tarleton. Fastball swung on, fouled high off to the right. Well, we have been really lucky in Orem this season as far as the weather goes, and it's catching up to us this weekend, midway through April, a cold, wet, chilly night. Another fastball right there on the inside corner, called strike 3. The Wolverines go down quietly. We head to inning number 2. It's the Texans 1, the Wolverines nothing on the WAC Digital Network. Tarleton 1, Utah Valley nothing as we begin inning number 2. One run on 3 hits, 3 singles in that first inning off these Texans bats. So here is Seltzer, Frew on deck, Bloom in the hole. Colby Seltzer, a sophomore, hitting an even .200. Does have 5 homers on the year. He's tied for the lead on this Tarleton team. There's a strike on the outside corner. So Schmidt working from the windup, shakes off Sims. Now he has what he wants. And it's a curveball that just misses off the inside. That was a good looking pitch. 1-1 the count. To third, Matson, he has it. The throw across, dug out by Polson. A nice play by Cade. 1 away.
Now batting for the Texans, third baseman number 7, Dean Frew.
So Dean Frew will bat with the bases empty and 1 out. .228 hitter in just 57 at bats this season. Hitting from the right side. First pitch slider, strike 1. Oh, and 2. The outfield medium deep straight away for the Wolverines. 1-2 pitch, a swing and a topper foul at home plate. Frew swings one and lines one up the middle. It took off Schmidt's glove. Morales picks it up, but his throw was too late. And Jesse Schmidt, he's lucky that he didn't take that one off the head or the face. That's a scary moment. That line drive literally took off his glove, and then Morales made an excellent play to scoop up that carom, but too late, and Frew is on with a hard hit single.
That's really when you're just throwing the glove up there more, not even to try to make a play, but just for protection. And right there, Jesse Schmidt facing, good mechanics to be facing home plate when the ball's hit back at you, but right there, just Utah Valley on the kind of the negative side there, being able to get the runner, but it was going to be tough just given the play to even have a chance to get the runner.
Spencer Bloom, the junior, at the plate. 0-1 to him. Polson holding on the runner at first. A swing and a high fly ball deep into right center field. Marco going back. It's going to be Marco. He makes the grab over the shoulder on the run, reaching high above his head. And there are two down. Back to the top of the order for Tarleton. So that ball was hit pretty well. And I think, Ryan, if it were maybe 60 degrees rather than 40, that could have been real trouble. But that ball died out there in the cold air. You can't quite see it on the WAC Digital Network, but just very overcast. A chilly, chilly day here in Utah Valley.
Well, it's interesting because I've been out for the last, for probably the last 3 hours or so over at softball and kind of waiting to see what the rain was going to do there. And I mean, it's a tangible like dampness compared to what we've been seeing the last week or two. It's just one of those things. Softball getting canceled today if you're Utah Valley, but have a chance to get 2 in tomorrow hopefully, and the weather will be a little bit better tomorrow. So
a swing and a miss here by Aguilar, who struck out back in the first inning. 0-2 to him. And this new field turf coming in handy already, as it drains very well. As you mentioned, softball on the grass and dirt, they got rained out. Ball misses down and away. 1-2 to Aguilar.
Well, softball is actually just put in a turf outfield over the year, but even just being out there with the heavy rain that fell, you could see there was just kind of some pockets where it was just kind of pooling up there. So I mean, it's just kind of tough. Some nights you get these rainstorms, and it was a pretty good rainstorm that we got hit with there for about an hour, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And if your field's not in pristine shape or in really good shape, you're going to have a hard time getting those games in. Sometimes it's just best, too, to call it and play it when it's better weather for everybody.
Swinging up high pop-up, shallow center field. Broussard back behind second base. It'll be the shortstop, makes the grab. And the inning's over. Tarleton gets a hit. They leave him stranded, no runs. On to the bottom half of the second inning. It's the Texans 1, the Wolverines nothing. It's Utah Valley Baseball on the WAC Digital Network. Tarleton with 1 run on 4 hits. No runs, no hits for Utah Valley. Bottom of the second inning, Jordan Bianucci alongside Ryan Pickens. Pleasure to have you with us on the WAC Digital Network. If you're tuning into the audio only, some unforeseen circumstances, and there is nothing but silence right now on that. So if you have friends or family looking for the audio only, it should be up and going in a few moments, but you can tune in here as Polson swings and hits a pop-up. Foul ground, first base side, giving chase. Burns, he overran it. So that's going to be an error. That's a play you got to make. Burns just, there's no wind. I'm not sure what happened, but he just simply overran it near the warning track on the first base side. So just a strike. So Polson will try to make that one hurt. The pitch to him. High and away for ball 2, 2-1. Pinedo pitched very well in the first inning. Swinging a pop-up, shallow center, just maybe a foot onto the outfield grass. Out number 1. I mentioned that was going to be an error on Burns. They do not give him the error. He did not touch the pop-up in foul ground. So here's Drew Sims. The Wolverine catcher takes strike 1 on the inside corner. Sims this season has not had a base hit against a left-handed pitcher. He's 0 for 8. The 1 strike offering. Fastball right there at the knees, strike 2. Overall, Sims just batting .98 on the year. He has really struggled with the bat this season. Such a tremendous defensive catcher. Drew Sims trying to get the bat going. 0-2 pitch, a swing and a foul. High and off to the right.
You started to kind of see Drew Sims, Jordan, start to kind of get in a little bit of a rhythm, and then he took the foul ball a couple series back and missed probably 3 or 4 games, and it's just going to be interesting to see if it's going to take him a little bit of time to kind of get the rhythm back.
Yeah, fastball nearly hit him there. I don't know how he got out of the way of that one. 1-2 to him. 1-0. Tarleton leading Utah Valley. A swing and a topper foul. Good looking slider there from Pinedo. Matson on deck. Base is empty, 1 out. Sims swings and lines one. Lookout off the top of the dugout on the first base side over the unprotected heads of the Texans there. One-two pitch, down and in the turf. Blocked by the long-haired Spencer Bloom. Long brown locks coming out of the back of the catcher's hockey-style helmet. 2-2 pitch to Sims. A swing and a ground ball to shortstop. Aguilar to his right, throws to first, 2 down. So the first 5 men that Pinedo has seen, he's retired in this ball game. Matson will bat with the bases empty and 2 gone. Matson was 3 for 12 last weekend at UTRGV. The Wolverines have really struggled with the extra base hit this season. Not a whole lot of extra baggers. Some singles sprinkled in, but not a lot of slugging. Here's a foul ball, a grounder on the first base side off the end of the bat. Counts even at 1-1. Well, if Mick got on, Hayes is a guy that could put a charge into one. He's on deck. From the windup, Pinedo comes home. A swing and a high drive deep down the right field line, but slicing foul. Off the wall, but well foul. Just behind the fastball there, Matson. One-two pitch from Pinedo. A swing and a shot up the middle. A one-hopper into left center field. McMatson with a two-out single as Rayburn relays it in. And the Wolverines have their first base runner. That's good to see from McMatson. That's a hard-hit ball. And here's Payson Hayes.
And that's what you'd like to see, from 1 through 9 really is it's one thing, Jordan, you want to put the ball in play. It's another thing to kind of hit the ball hard when you're up there. If you hit the ball hard and right at somebody, that's a lot more livable of an out than if you hit the ball soft and just kind of right into somebody.
Throw over, Matson back standing. Matson's not going to go anywhere unless for some reason they put on the hit and run, but that's doubtful as Payson Hayes is not a big contact hitter. Matson not a fast runner. He's held on by Burns. The pitch, Hayes swings and misses. Payson Hayes on the year, a junior hitting 149, 2 homers, 2 RBIs. He's struck out 23 times. Jeff Aarons behind him has struck out 22 times. The Wolverines have struck out a lot this season. A swing and a foul tip, and it's 0-2. But Hayes does have power. If he runs into one, he could give it a ride. 1-0, Texans lead it. Last of the second inning, 1 man on, 2 men out. Pinedo, I beg your pardon, into his stretch. Left arm dangling, now he's ready. 0-2, swing and a foul. A good little emergency swing there by Hayes to stay alive. Should Payson get aboard, it would be Jeff Aarons. Matson with a short lead at first. The pitch, nope, a throw over. And Pinedo kind of floated that one over there. And Burns had to reach up and snag it. A big hole on that right side if Hayes were to go the other way. Aguilar playing in the hole at shortstop. Swing and a miss by Hayes. He's down on strikes, and the Wolverines are retired in the second. A hit, a man left, no runs. On to inning number 3. It's the Texans 1, the Wolverines nothing on the WAC Digital Network. Tarleton leads Utah Valley 1-0. Due up for the Texans, it'll be Fowler, Thomas Rivera, and Burns. Back out on the mound, it's Jesse Schmidt as Tarleton will look to add on, and it is my great pleasure to give you, with the play-by-play, Mr. Ryan Pickens.
Thank you, Jordan, as Tyler Fowler stands in from the left side. 1 for 1 on the evening. Takes the first pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 1. Fowler with a line drive to left field, kind of a soft liner out to Jeff Aarons to get things going at the top of the first inning for the Texans as the 0-1 pitch misses low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Great to be with everybody here tonight at the ballpark. Is kind of a I don't know whether I would say unpleasant surprise or a pleasant surprise to be here. So the 1-1 pitch is grounded right to Mitch Morales. And Morales will throw out Fowler. There's one gone in the third. I was supposed to be over at softball today and not here at least probably until about the 6th, maybe the 7th inning. And then it starts to get questionable if I want to really jump on the broadcast for the last 3 innings of the game. But
Ryan, I speak for Wolverine fans everywhere when we say thank you, Mother Nature, for washing out softball so Ryan Pickens can be here in the booth.
Camille Thomas Rivera stands in, takes the first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and it's 0-1. I was talking to one of the workers here from the event center here that staffed the game, and before the ball game, the 0-1 pitch settles in there for a called strike, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Boy, did they get softball in?" I said, "No, they canceled it. I was supposed to be there instead of over here at baseball tonight." But I said, "At least I get to be indoors now." And he kind of chuckled and says, "Well, some of you are lucky." As Camille Thomas Rivera rolls one foul, it's no balls and 2 strikes here on the number 3 hitter for Tarleton. The 0-2 pitch swung out and missed, strike 3. And Jesse Schmidt has his first strikeout. They'll complete the strikeout with a throw down to first, but there's 2 gone.
Well, hopefully Schmidt can get into a groove here. He's now retired as the last 4 men he's faced, but we're in a liminal space, Ryan. We're inside the booth, but in front of a giant open window. So it's still, I don't know about you, I got the winter coat on tonight.
The pitch on its way, misses, gets right on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 0-1 to Blake Burns, who's 1 for 1. The preseason all-whack first base selection as the 0-1 pitch settles in again, and Schmidt really kind of being able to find that outside corner to left-handed hitters this evening. Heading the count 0-2 here on Blake Burns. This one, a breaking ball, just never breaks for a ball. It's 1-2. I kept my window closed for about the first inning and a half or so. I don't know if our producer, Ben, who's sitting next to me, I don't know how much he appreciated me opening the window. As they'll appeal down to third. No, he did not, says third base umpire Steve Hilgendorf. Count moves to 2-2.
Well, as far as I know, we don't have any actual crowd mics, and so we have to keep the window open, not just so we can have the best view, but to get that crowd sound.
Here's the 2-2 pitch on its way. Burns swings and misses, strike 3, and Jesse Schmidt settling in here in the third. 2 strikeouts to end the third inning. We head to the bottom of the third. Utah Valley coming up. Ahrens, Hacker, and Broussard in the bottom of the third here on the WAC Digital Network. Bottom of the third inning here at doTERRA Field at UCCU Ballpark. Ryan Pickens and Jordan Bianucci here with the action as the number 8 hitter for the Wolverines, Jeff Ahrens, will stand in and lead it off. Ahrens hitting .222 on the season. Sees a first pitch fastball in on the outer half for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Pinedo's been really tough on the Wolverines. A hard fastball there as Ahrens swings through it. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Has to have probably an upper 80s fastball or so, give or take.
Yeah, the radar gun we mentioned, I don't even think it's out tonight.
The 0-2 pitch on its way. Ahrens swings and misses. The ball kind of gets away from Bloom. He'll throw down to Burns for the out. Strikeout number 4 for Pinedo, and here is center fielder Andrew Hacker. So Hacker will stand to the plate now as he'll stand in here for the Wolverines. Hacker has been kind of in a group of guys who have been in and out kind of the starting lineup, has been given opportunities this year. Swings and misses the first pitch on its way to stand in. Hacker, a 6-foot redshirt freshman from Rancho Santa Margarita, California. And that is a nice town to visit. The 0-1 pitch on its way. Hacker sends it foul. We'll do it again. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, it was Hacker who had the big home run mentioned earlier. That in the lone game that the Wolverines won last week at UTRGV, Hacker hit a big home run in the 11th inning to put the Wolverines ahead.
The 0-2 pitch, fastball that just misses on the inner half. And Pinedo thought he had strike 3. I think even Spencer Bloom, the Tarleton catcher, thought that he might have had strike 3, but it will be ball 1. The 1-2 pitch to Hacker on its way. Swung out and missed, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Pinedo, and now he's really settling in the first time through the order. We'll go back to the top of the lineup and shortstop Garrett Broussard. Broussard 0 for 1, lined out to center field in his only plate appearance of the ball game, back in the first inning. Pinedo already coming home right there, and that one in there just below the knees for a called strike. Pinedo pretty much getting the ball, getting the sign, and throwing. And on a cold night like this, if you're playing defense, that's exactly what you want to see. The 0-1 pitch, Broussard pulls it foul down the line. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes here on Garrett Broussard. Pinedo ready to come home again. Here's the 0-2 pitch on its way, and Broussard sends it foul. We'll do it again, no balls and 2 strikes. Well, the cloud's starting to kind of lighten up here in Orem. The rain showers having moved through. We should have a pretty good night the rest of the way. The 0-2 pitch on its way. Ground ball through the right side. Base hit for Garrett Broussard. They had the second baseman there, Kemuel Thomas Rivera, playing more towards the middle, and Broussard used the hole between the first and second baseman to send that one into right field. The second hit of the night for the Wolverines, and with 2 outs, they'll extend the inning. And that will bring up second baseman Mitch Morales. Morales, a strikeout victim in his first plate appearance back in the bottom of the first inning. And Pinedo will have to work from the stretch. He'll throw over to first, and Broussard, I don't know if he kind of slipped when diving back or something, but the footwork there, not kind of I don't want to say delayed reaction from Broussard, but just like he almost kind of got stuck in the turf there trying to dive back, almost got picked off. Again, Pinedo with the look over, and he comes home. That one settles in on the inside corner for a called strike to Mitch Morales. Tarleton, 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Utah Valley, no runs on 2 hits, no errors.
Well, this is, an obvious statement, but this is one of the good reasons getting guys on base, Ryan, is it gets Pinedo out of that windup into the stretch, maybe breaks up his rhythm a little bit. As you see him throw over, and you saw before that him kind of walking around, checking the cap, kind of trying to get back into that easy rhythm. He has retired before that single, the last 5 out of the last 6 he'd faced.
The 0-1 pitch on its way. Fastball stays high, and the count moves to 1-1. It's interesting because Pinedo on his pickoff move kind of brings the front leg straight up in the air. And he just kind of holds it like you'll see a lot of lefties do. But he has to be really careful because he has to bring that leg straight up. If he goes anywhere towards home, then it can be easily a call to balk. There's a ground ball. Diving at third is the third baseman, Frew, but they're going to say that it was foul. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Mitch Morales as the ball tossed to David Carter in the third base coach's box for the Wolverines.
And Frew's going, I got all wet for a foul ball. Are you kidding me?
Practice makes perfect,
That's right? Yes.
That's something that they say, right? 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Broussard, the runner over at first, takes off. The pitch on its way. Morales pops it up, sends it foul. We'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Eric Madsen in a 1-2 count, trying to maybe put the hit and run on.
And Broussard got an incredible jump on that. I mean, he would have been safe easily had that ball not been fouled off. But I think you're absolutely right, Ryan. Interesting putting the hit and run on there with 2 strikes, but that tells you Morales can make contact.
And I guess in a lot of ways it's a breaking ball count as Morales sends that one foul. You know, typically it's kind of maybe tricky in some ways if you want to run, say, 2-1 or 3-1 in more of a fastball count, because if it's a 2-1 fastball count, too much of a potential problem to, you know, swing and miss or a line out or something. But there's the throw over to first and Broussard diving back. However, it's tough because with the hit and run, you need a good contact hitter. You need a good contact pitch. So generally, you would probably want to do that more of a fastball count. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count right here. Pinedo looks over at first. Burns holding the runner. And the pitch on its way. Broussard on his way to second. Morales, a sky-high pop-up into shallow left field. A couple of steps onto the left field turf is Aguilar. He'll make the catch, and the inning is over. Utah Valley gets one on the base pass in the 3rd. They strand him. We head to the 4th. Texans 1, Wolverines 0. Top of the 4th inning here in Orem as London Green, Wade Rayburn, and Colby Seltzer coming up here for Tarleton here in the top of the 4th inning. And the first pitch on its way home is swung out and missed by London Green, and it's an 0-1 count. Green, 1 for 1, had a base hit through the right side back in the 1st inning when Tarleton had 3 of their 4 hits in the ballgame. The pitch on its way, that one's in the dirt for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike here on London Green. 1-0 Texans here in the top of the 4th inning. The pitch from Jesse Schmidt on its way, fastball right off the plate for a ball, and it's 2-1 the count here on London Green. Game 1 of this 4-game weekend series. The 2-1 pitch on its way home, rolled foul. We'll do it again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Couple of big-time matchups this week in the WAC.
Yeah,
you talk about New Mexico State and Grand Canyon. That's right there. I mean, potentially playing for the second bye in the first round of the conference tournament in Mesa. The 2-2 pitch on its way is going to be swung on line to left field. It's going to fall and roll to the warning track. It's going to get almost to the wall. Aarons cuts it off, but sliding into second is London Green with a double to start the 4th inning.
London Green is red hot right now. This is the 13th straight game that he has reached base. 2 for 2 tonight.
As Wade Rayburn will stand in. Rayburn grounded out to first in his only plate appearance of the ballgame. That ended the 1st inning. And this is a Tarleton team that can hit the baseball. I mean, Jordan, you and I were kind of talking about that before the game. Like, don't sleep on the Texans' record, because this is a team that's better than that record indicates. The bunt shown and pulling it back is Rayburn. He'll take a strike, and it's 0-1. Rayburn hitting .284 on the year. 21 hits and 74 at-bats for the Texans. slightly open stance in the batter's box here. Jesse Schmidt trying to work through trouble here in the fourth. The 0-1 pitch, bunt shown, pulls it back, and this time taken for a called strike as Cade Polson was crashing from first base. Mick Madsen playing pretty even with the bag, so if the Wolverines have a chance, potentially trying to cut down the lead runner.
Yeah, well, it's 0-2 here, so you don't expect him to bunt, but with a guy at second, you want to bunt it down that third base line. And I thought that was a pretty good pitch to bunt. I was surprised he pulled it back.
The 0-2 pitch on its way. Ground ball to second. Morales on the backhand. Scoops it. Throws to first there to get Rayburn. London Green goes down to third. And kind of the equivalent of the bunt right there with the ground ball to the right side. You still move the runner to third base with less than 2 outs for Colby Seltzer. And now the pressure removed from Colby Seltzer and the fact that now just a fly ball deep enough to the outfield gets the run home from third. Seltzer grounded out to third, his first plate appearance, or really even a ground ball up the middle, gets the run home. It's the first pitch, a breaking ball that misses away. Good stop by Drew Sims, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. However, on a night like tonight, easier said than done to get a fly ball deep enough to the outfield. I think we're probably around somewhere around 40 degrees or so. I think it's 40 degrees is what my phone's telling me here. The 1-0 pitch settles in there for a called strike and evens the count up a 1-1. Right here. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Tarleton. Runner on at third base. Schmidt working from the stretch right here. Pitch on its way. Fastball right on the outside corner. Trying to nibble on the edge, but couldn't get the strike call. And it's 2-1 the count here on Colby Seltzer.
Yeah, certainly a strikeout situation if you're Jesse Schmidt. He has 3 of them tonight. Would love to get Seltzer to chase.
Ready to go right here. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Seltzer. He swings and pops this one up, but it's going to go foul. And we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. 1 gone, top of the fourth inning. Jesse Schmidt right now, I think this will be pitch number either 60 or 61 for the Wolverines right-hander. He's pitched well so far tonight. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung out and missed. Seltzer chases one out of the strike zone there. And Jesse Schmidt has his 4th strikeout of the evening. And that will bring up third baseman Dean Frew.
Excellent execution there by Schmidt. A breaking ball low and away, as you described, Ryan. And he got Seltzer to chase a really bad one. And now Tarleton will need a base hit or a Utah Valley mistake to score.
Ready to go right here. Working from the stretch. Frew at the plate. The pitch on its way. In there for a called strike, and it's 0-1 here on Dean Frew. Frew with a single back to the pitcher as they officially scored it as he hit a kind of a scorching line drive that just knocked Jesse Schmidt's glove off Schmidt's hands. The pitch on its way home is swung on and lifted into right center field. Fly ball there for Alexander Marco, who makes the catch, and the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Jesse Schmidt pitches around the trouble in the fourth. We'll see if Utah Valley can get some runs. The middle part of the lineup, Marco, Polson, and Sims due up after the break. Bottom of the fourth inning here in Orem. Alexander Marco to lead it off for the Wolverines. Marco went down on strikes back in his first plate appearance of the ball game for Utah Valley. As Pinedo will go back to work here in the bottom of the fourth inning. He's been in a groove for the most part. First pitch fastball misses low and away. That was pitch number 51 for the left-hander. So one thing Utah Valley's done, the 1-0 pitch on its way. Marco swings and drives this one towards the left field line. Question is fair or foul, and it will be foul. Evens the count up at 1-1 strike. The Wolverines only have 2 hits, and they've only had the 2 base runners, but a couple of the Wolverines have drawn out their at-bats, which has kind of helped run up the pitch count for Pinedo so far. Here's the 1-1 pitch, fastball low and inside, and the count moves to 2-1. Ready to go right here, Pinedo. Winds, kicks, and comes home. Breaking ball that just never breaks, ball 3. And it's 3-1 on Alexander Marco. So if you're a hitter like Alexander Marco, you're sitting dead red here probably, 3-1 fastball. And Marco on the year with 3 home runs. The 3-1 pitch, this one checks his swing, but it's going to be a called strike on the corner, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Breaking news, Ryan. The radar gun is officially being set up.
You know, we're going to have to talk to, as there's a line drive to right, but that's right at London Green for the first out of the inning. We're going to have to talk to, our producer about getting you some breaking news music, Jordan, because really about once a game or so, or some kind of graphic or something.
Hey, when news happens.
Because once a game I hear you say breaking news. I should have kept track this year. I know we had James Warnick coming back from the airport one time as breaking news as the pitch comes in for Cade Polson for ball 1.
Well, when you put it like that, it doesn't sound like it's that significant, that it's not breaking news.
Polson popped out to the second baseman in his first plate appearance back in the second. Here's the 1-0 pitch, fastball in the inside corner for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. I'm trying to remember what else
volleyball scores?
That's right.
Out-of-town scoreboard?
The 2-0 pitch on its way home. Polson swings and pops this one up. This is going to be playable over towards the first base dugout. Blake Burns will make the catch in foul territory, and there's quickly 2 gone. Here's catcher Drew Sims. We should say that our good friend James Warnick does a lot to help make our lives easier as the baseball SID here at UVU. Comes up with every stat and every game note that we need, and can answer pretty much every other question that we need to have around the program. So we really do appreciate the hard work that James puts in behind the scenes to make these broadcasts and everything else go smooth. As Drew Sims swings at the first pitch, line drive to right, London Green comes in a few steps, kind of hot, jumps into the air, makes the catch, and the inning is over. We head to the 5th. It's 1-0 Tarleton here on the WAC Digital Network. The Texans lead Utah Valley 1-0. Well, we move to the top of the 5th inning here in Orem. It will be 9-1-2. Spencer Bloom, Brian Aguilar, and Tyler Fowler coming up for Tarleton. Jesse Schmidt really settling in so far through 63 pitches. 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. But this is the third time through the order, Jordan, and we've seen at times this year where that third time through, well, after Spencer Bloom, has been when offenses has kind of attacked the Wolverines. We'll see what happens, and with the play-by-play is Jordan Bianucci.
Thanks very much, Ryan. As you mentioned, Spencer Bloom digging in, hitting just 152 coming into the game. He's 0 for 1 tonight, flied out to right in his first at bat. Schmidt from the windup. A breaking ball swung on and smashed down the third baseline, but just foul, says Steve Hilgendorf, the third base umpire, past the dive of Matson. Nothing but a strike, 0-1. It's been a quick 5 innings, not a lot of offense. We've had a lot of base runners, but no one's been able to cash in big time. Just 1 run in the first inning for Tarleton. That's where we are here in the 5th. 1-0 Texans as a ball misses outside. 1-1 the count. Working quickly, Jesse Schmidt comes home. Big swing and a miss at the breaking ball. I should say foul tip, and it's 1-2. Don't forget, fans, a doubleheader tomorrow. A 1 p.m. start for Game 1. And then Game 2 will start about a half hour after that one. Here's a ground ball through the hole between shortstop and third base. A leadoff single for the Texans here in the 5th. A good effort by Broussard ranging to his right, but he had no chance at it through the 5.5 hole, as Tony Gwynn used to say. So back to the top of the order. Third time through, as Ryan mentioned. It will be Brian Aguilar. Aguilar is struck out and popped up. Right-handed batter, slightly open stance. Schmidt back into his stretch. The pitch, check swing. He did not go around at a breaking ball. And it is 1 ball and no strikes. Fowler on deck. Schmidt has retired the Texans in order just once tonight. In 5 innings, ball misses down, 2-0. Fowler on the season came into the ballgame batting .290, 3 homers, 15 runs batted in. The designated hitter for Tarleton, the pitch to him. Fastball, right down the pipe, strike 1. Two balls, 1 strike to count. Matson playing on the edge of the infield grass at third. Runner takes off. The throw by Sims. Did they get him? He came off the bag and they got him. Bloom tried to steal his first bag of the season. I think initially he made it. The third base umpire who was in the area, that's Steve Hilgendorf, he kind of delayed his call, and I think Bloom overslid the bag. We don't have the benefit of a television replay, but a nice job by, I believe that was Morales, keeping the tag on him. So 1 out, base is empty. 3-1 pitch is swung on and lifted high down the right field line. In the ballpark, though, Marco has it, and just like that, they're 2 away. So a huge caught stealing to get the first out. Aguilar's retired on a fly ball. And here is Fowler. And I beg your pardon, I say Aguilar. Fowler retired there on the F9. Here's Kemuel Thomas Rivera. First pitch breaking ball in there for strike 1. Popped up near the second base bag. Behind it, it's Broussard. And the inning is over. So a leadoff single, but nothing comes of it. No runs. On to the last of the 5th. It is the Texans 1, the Wolverines nothing on the WAC Digital Network. 1-0, Texans lead it as we begin the bottom of the 5th. I misspoke in the top half of the inning. Bloom singled as he was at first, then he was caught stealing. Aguilar flied out to right, and popped up to the shortstop, Broussard. Here is Mick Matson, takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Matson singled back in the 2nd inning, a hard hit ball up the middle. 1-0 pitch. Off speed, misses outside, 2-0. Utah Valley trying to get the offense going. It's been tough this season as Matson takes ball 3. Well, certainly Pinedo does not want to walk the leadoff hitter. 3-0 pitch, way outside, not close. A good at bat there by Matson, and the tying run is on base. Nobody out for Payson Hayes. The Tarleton bullpen quiet, but we're going to have a meeting on the mound. And actually, I think the pitcher, I think that was Alex Pinedo. He's hurt, so hopefully he's all right. As Aaron Mead, the head coach for Tarleton, is going to come out and have a look, and now he's sitting down behind the mound, and that's, you don't like to see that. And hopefully they're stretching him out, his left leg, and hopefully it's just a cramp. The athletic trainer out there. So Pinedo made that, well, he walked Matson on 4 pitches and came off the mound and went down. He was hands on his knees, bent over at the waist, and then he just laid down on the turf as the trainer tries to stretch him out. Well, you want him to stay in this game if you're a Texans fan. He has been brilliant through 4 innings into the 5th here. The transfer from New Mexico State as they continue to try and keep him from cramping up on a cold night here in Orem. Now he's up and on his feet as somebody begins to throw down in that Tarleton bullpen. And luckily Pinedo is going to stay in the game, so hopefully everything's all right with the lefty. Down in the bullpen, that is Luke Bailey getting loose for Tarleton as Pinedo takes a warm-up toss, and he says he's good to go. So Payson Hayes will step in, 1-0 our score. Matson with the leadoff walk. He's at first, held on by Burns. Hayes struck out back in the 2nd inning with Matson at first base. 0 for 1, the pitch to him. That ball gets between the legs of Bloom. He couldn't find it for a split second. Matson nearly got caught in no man's land, but he scurries back to first. Throw down there is late. 1-0. So Pinedo, he's throwing 5 straight balls to begin this inning. Thomas Rivera, the second baseman rather, pulled up the middle. So a big hole on that right side should Hayes go the other way. Pinedo checks on the runner. I think he's just trying to keep Matson close. He knows that McMatson isn't a big threat to steal. Matson has not attempted to steal a base this season as a fastball misses high and away. Again, not close, 2-0. So Payson Hayes will almost certainly be taking all the way here. 6 straight balls to begin this inning from Pinedo, who has been so good in this game. From the stretch. Here it comes. Fastball did not get the call off the inside corner, and it's 3-0. And Pinedo's not happy with himself or with home plate umpire Matt McMahon. We've seen McMahon give the borderline inside corner to right-handed batters tonight. He did not get the call there. 3-0, the pitch to Hayes. There's a strike on the outside corner. A fastball, not down the middle. That was a good-looking pitch. 3-1 to Hayes. So now Payson can lay in wait for a fastball to drive. We'll see what Pinedo comes with. He throws over to first. Matson back standing. 1-0 Texans. Hayes could give the Wolverines with one swing of the bat. He has 2 home runs on the season. 3-1 to the DH. Here it comes. Pinedo now taking a long time. A swing and a high fly ball deep into right field. Green back in front of the track. He reaches up and makes the grab, and it's the first out in the Wolverine 5th inning. So a very nice job by Alex Pinedo to battle back after falling behind 3-0 to Payson Hayes. He had thrown 7 straight balls, couldn't seem to find the strike zone, and he dug deep and got a big first out. Here's Jeff Ahrens with a man at first base. Ahrens peers into the dugout. Eric Matson, the head coach, puts on a series of signs. Pinedo comes home. A swing and a looping liner into left. Coming in is Seltzer. He goes down to one knee. Did he catch it? He did. It looked like he might have possibly trapped it, but no, says the third base umpire in the middle of the diamond. That's Michael Chukerman. And there are 2 gone. So Ahrens makes fairly good contact, but right at Seltzer, who is positioned perfectly. And there are 2 away for Andrew Hacker. Hacker swings and chops it foul. Hacker struck out back in the 3rd. He is 0 for 1 tonight. A .231 hitting freshman hit his lone home run, his first of his collegiate career last weekend at UTRGV. As we've mentioned, a big one in extra innings for the Wolverines. 1 strike pitch to him. A swing and a pop-up. Shallow right field. Going out is Rivera, Thomas Rivera, I should say, makes the grab, and Utah Valley is retired. They waste the leadoff walk. Well done by Alex Pinedo to battle back after walking the first man he faced. We go to inning number 6. It's Tarleton 1, Utah Valley nothing on the WAC Digital Network. One to nothing Utah Valley trailing Tarleton as we head to the 6th inning. Kemuel, Thomas Rivera, Blake Burns, and London Green due up for the Texans. Jesse Schmidt back out on the mound in this pitcher's duel. First pitch curveball just off the inside, misses for ball 1. Well, on the out-of-town scoreboard, Seattle leads Sacramento State 2-0. That game in the top of the 5th. Ball down in the turf, 2-0 to Thomas Rivera, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Sac State, they're ranked 24th in the nation. 2-0 pitch, down and away, ball 3. Also on the out-of-town scoreboard, a very big series in Las Cruces, New Mexico State leading Grand Canyon 3-0. That game also in the 5th inning. There's a strike on the inside corner, and it's 3-1 to Thomas Rivera, who has 5 homers on the year. He could look for a fastball to drive here if he so chooses. 3-1 on the way. A swing and a high fly ball to left field. Ahrens coming in, still coming in. He has it, and there's one away. So, indeed, Thomas Rivera looked to drive that one, but he got under it. And that brings up Burns with one out. I mentioned, fans, the doubleheader tomorrow beginning at 1 p.m. This is real breaking news for Ryan Pickens in the booth next to me. The game on Sunday has been moved from noon to 11 a.m. It will be an 11 a.m. start on Sunday, the finale of this series, here at doTERRA Field at UCCU Ballpark. 1-1 the count to Blake Burns, the senior. He knocked in the only run of the game. That was back in the first inning, a single up the middle that brought Fowler home. 2-1 now to him. A swing and a ground ball. A foul on the first base side. And it's 2-2. Well, in the last of the sixth for Utah Valley, it will be the top of the order. Schmidt, after giving up the one run in the first, has really settled down. Swing and a miss there. He got him on a breaking ball. That is the fifth strikeout for Jesse Schmidt, who's been excellent. 2 away, bases empty. We appreciate you tuning in to the webcast here on the WAC Digital Network, as you can see on a cold, chilly night in Orem. First pitch misses outside to the switch hitting Green. Green's 2 for 2 tonight. He doubled in his last at bat. He has now reached base safely in 13 consecutive games. Fastball misses outside. It's 2-0 to him. The Wolverines have really struggled tonight, and that is a trend that has continued this season. Here's a fly ball into left. Aarons has it. The inning is over, and Jesse Schmidt retires the Texans. In order, we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. It's Tarleton 1, Utah Valley nothing on the WAC Digital Network. Broussard, Morales, and Marco due up for Utah Valley. Last of the sixth inning, 1-0. Texans, the first ever meeting between these two teams. They're going to see a lot of each other in the coming years, as this is just the first season in the WAC for Tarleton State. First pitch to Broussard. Fastball right there on the corner, strike 1. Well, the Wolverines overall this year have hit just, well, I should preface it with this. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. Overall, Utah Valley hitting .213 as a team this season. The lefty, Pinedo, comes home. A swing and a high fly ball, right field. Shouldn't be trouble for Green. Backing up now, squares up. He has it, 1 away in the sixth. So while the Wolverines are hitting .213 overall, they're hitting just .180 as a team against left-handers this season. Of course, Pinedo, a left-hander on the mound, so the trend has continued. The Wolverines have just 2 hits, not a whole lot going offensively for Utah Valley, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they've had a runner reach second base. So here is Morales, bases empty, 1 out. First pitch swinging and foul tipping into the glove of Bloom, 0-1. So it goes for the Wolverines this season. Fastball on the inside corner, strike 2. The Wolverines have pitched fairly well, but they just have not gotten the run support that they've so needed. 1-0, Texans lead it, bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch. Morales swings and wraps one to third. Frew plays the high hop, throws to first low. Burns has it though. 2 away. Morales is 0 for 3. And here is Marco. Well, Marco has the capability of tying it with one swing of the bat. He has 3 homers on the season, tied for the lead on this Utah Valley club. 0 for 2 tonight, though. Exclusively a right-handed hitting batting order tonight for Utah Valley. It's so kind of counterintuitive that they've struggled so much this year against lefties. A swing and a fly ball. Very high into right center field. Coming in is the center fielder, Rayburn, waiting. He has it, and Utah Valley goes down extremely quietly here in the 6th inning as Marco claps his hands. He's very frustrated. We head to the 7th inning. It's the Texans 1, Utah Valley nothing on the WAC Digital Network. Inning number 7, Jesse Schmidt, the starter, back out on the mound. He has been brilliant, giving up just 1 run on 6 hits. He will face Rayburn, Seltzer, and Frew 6, 7, and 8. And to tell you all about it, here is Ryan Pickens.
Thank you, Jordan, as Rayburn stands in the box from the left side. First pitch on its way, misses low and away for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Rayburn grounded out in his last at bat back in the 4th. Swings and misses there. Down in the count now. Or sorry, even in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ready to go, Jesse Schmidt, the right-hander, kicks and comes home. The 1-1 pitch misses low and inside for a ball. And it's 2 balls and a strike on Wade Rayburn. Rayburn ready to go again. Both pitchers working pretty quick here tonight. The 2-1 pitch, nibbling on the outside corner, but not getting the strike calls. Jesse Schmidt. It's 3-1 on Rayburn. Ready to go right here, and that one settles in. Count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Rayburn. Ready to go right here. The pitch is swung on, hit well to center field. Andrew Hacker has a beat on it, though. He'll make the catch over towards right center field. There's 1 away here in the 7th. So Rayburn retired. And that's going to bring up Colby Seltzer, the left fielder. Seltzer 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout on the afternoon. Sorry, I should say on the evening here is the pitch to Seltzer. Misses low and outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Dean Frew, the third baseman, on deck for Tarleton. 1-0 Texans here in the top of the 7th. The pitch misses low for a ball. The count moves quickly to 2 balls and no strikes. Back at it tomorrow here on the WAC Digital Network. Doubleheader day, the 2-0 pitch. settling in just above the belt for a ball. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Well, 1 p.m. Mountain Time first pitch for the first game of the doubleheader. Second game to follow probably about 30 to 45 minutes after. 3-0 pitch on its way in there for a called strike. And Seltzer now in a good hitter's count, 3 balls and a strike. At the same time, a softball doubleheader, well, about an hour earlier. 3-1 pitch on its way. Seltzer swings and fouls that one back. It's Utah Valley softball at home for Dixie State. And a doubleheader tomorrow beginning at noon. And, because there's, multiple events going on, the UVU women's soccer team playing down at Grand Canyon for the WAC women's soccer tournament title. As that one's fouled back, we'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Colby Seltzer. The top 2 seeds going at each other in that one, where Seattle and Utah Valley play. Down there in Phoenix, the 3-2 pitch on its way. Right on the corner, but misses ball 4. And Seltzer is aboard here with 1 out in the 7th inning. And that might be the first walk given up by Jesse Schmidt. I have to look, and it looks like it is, as Dean Frew, the third baseman, stands in with 1 away. Frew has a base hit back to the pitcher and then a fly out to right on the evening for Tarleton. The Texans wearing purple tops, gray pants. Utah Valley, all white uniforms here this evening. Ready to go right here. The pitch on its way as Sims double clutches a throw and it gets into center field. Stealing second on the play was Seltzer. And Seltzer will reach second right there on the stolen base. Drew Sims, I don't know if he had a hard time gripping the baseball, but just kind of double clutched his throw and then just maybe rushed it and it just sailed on him. So Seltzer steals second. And with 1 gone, Frew at the plate in a 1 ball, no strike count. For Seltzer, that is his 3rd stolen base of the year. Here's the 1-0 pitch on its way as Frew fouls it back. And we'll do it again. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Dean Frew. Tarleton scoring their lone run back in the 1st on a base hit from Blake Burns. The all-WAC preseason selection at first base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Schmidt comes home, ground ball hit in the hole. Broussard backhands, throws to third. The throw gets past Mick Madsen, goes towards the Utah Valley dugout. Digging for third is Seltzer. He will score. Frew will advance to second. Right there, it's 2-0 Texans as they push across a run here in the 7th inning. And now they're going to give, looks like Frew will have a base hit to short as Spencer Bloom, the catcher, will come up. And then right there, Seltzer will go to third and will score on an E6. That's the first error of the ball game, and head coach Eric Madsen coming out of the Wolverine dugout right here, a right-hander throwing. Believe that may be Carson Brown, number 38, who's throwing in the Utah Valley bullpen. Just taking a look, and it does look like it is Carson Brown, as on a night like tonight, if you're Utah Valley, 1 run, now that lead being pushed out to 2-0 could be a backbreaker. Most nights, maybe being down 1-0 or maybe 2-0 doesn't really come back to hurt you too much in the scorebook, but in the top of the 7th inning now, being down 2-0, on a night where hits and base runners have been at a premium for the Wolverines, that second run big for Tarleton.
Indeed. Utah Valley has not had a base runner reach second base tonight, so it illustrates why even a 2-0 lead seems so challenging, right?
So Jesse Schmidt here with 1 gone, trying to kind of work through this inning here in the 7th. Working from the stretch right here. Carson Brown, number 38, warming up in the pen. Bunt shown, Bloom sends it foul, and snowballs and a strike here on the Texans catcher. We talked about some of those big games in the WAC tonight, As I know I can see Jordan's looking through some of those out-of-town scores, but man, Seattle and Sacramento State, a big one there for Wolverines fans with the Redhawks leading 2-0 in the bottom of the fifth. That's a big one there. Utah Valley trying to still catch Seattle. Still have 4 games left at the end of the season against the Redhawks.
Yeah, that'll be a big series up there in the Northwest.
The 0-1 pitch as that one swung on and missed, as it will be a long road trip for the Wolverines. They added a midweek game at the University of Oregon at PK Park in Eugene. And then they'll go up to play Seattle U to close out the regular season before the conference tournament down in Mesa. The 0-2 pitch on its way home. Bloom lines this one to center field. Hacker is going to watch this one fall in front of him. Coming around third and holding will be the runner. Polson cuts off the relay throw. And now Tarleton with runners on the corners and 1 away here in the 7th. The Texans not really teeing off on Jesse Schmidt or anything, but it's just been some well-timed base hits that have kind of doomed the Wolverines, at least to this point. And Eric Madsen coming out of the Utah Valley dugout, and I think this is going to be the end of the line for Jesse Schmidt here this evening. Eric Madsen's made the call to the bullpen. We'll take a short timeout here on the WAC Digital Network. We come back, we'll introduce you to the new Wolverine pitcher. You're watching WAC Baseball here on the WAC Digital Network.
Well, fans, don't forget, as you're enjoying Utah Valley Baseball, to enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi, the official soft drink of Utah Valley Athletics. New pitcher on here in Orem. It's Carson Brown coming in for Jesse Schmidt, who pitched very well, but ultimately gave up 2 runs on, I think one of which was earned, just one of which I should say was earned. So 2-0 Texans here in the top of the 7th inning, and they are threatening still. 2 men on, just 1 man out as Carson Brown takes his warm-up tosses. This will be his 7th appearance. Has a 2.08 earned run average. The freshman has thrown 8 2/3 innings, walked 6, struck out 6. Opponents are hitting 154 against the righty out of Colorado. And Ryan, we've talked about it. Carson Brown through this season, they really started him out nice and easy, as you might see with a freshman in some mop-up spots, but he's really earned his way in to the big roles, and talk about a big one here.
Yeah, it would be a big opportunity right here for the Wolverines, as we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Carson Brown finishing up his warm-up tosses. Now Brian Aguilar for Tarleton. And this is kind of out of that inning, Jordan. Now you've turned it over to the top of the lineup with runners on the corners.
Indeed. Right-handers are batting just 143 against Brown this season.
Aguilar stands in the box, ready to go right here. The pitch, bunt shown. Fastball stays high for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The count here on Aguilar. 2-0 Texans. 1 run in the top of the 1st. They've added 1 here in the top of the 7th. To have a 2-0 lead right here. Ready to go from the stretch. Brown comes in. Bunt shown again. This one gets in there for a called strike. Evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So It's a 2-0 lead here for Tarleton. And right here, Dean Frew running at third base. Spencer Bloom, the catcher, running over at first. Aguilar, the hitter here. The pitch on its way, swung on and missed, and it's 1-2 strikes, the count on Brian Aguilar. Texans on the season looking for their 6th conference win, but they have 12 regular season wins so far. Overall, the 1-2 pitch missing high for a ball. 2-2 strikes, the count here on Brian Aguilar. Tyler Fowler on deck for Tarleton. Right here, Carson Brown trying to work through this inning here. This is when you really like one of those ground ball double plays. The pitch on its way. Aguilar swings and misses. Strike 3. But you'll take that if you're Carson Brown. The second out of the inning, the first strikeout. And now you face the left-handed hitting Tyler Fowler here, who's 1 for 3 with runners on the corners. And we may have, it looks like, nope, will be Tyler Fowler.
No, I beg your pardon, Ryan. I was thinking, well, the switch hitter, I wonder if the Wolverines will get a lefty up. But no, they'll stick with Brown.
Ready to go right here, the pitch. Missing for a ball. 1 and no strikes, the count to Tyler Fowler. Carson Brown, the right-hander, looking in to get the sign right here. The lights on here at the ballpark as the 1-0 pitch about ready to come home. On its way, fastball missing outside. The count evens up here. It's about 7:30 here in Utah County. This one really played relatively quickly, at least so far. We'll see if the late innings, if it slows up or slows down. The Wolverines really pushing UTRGV last weekend to at least 1 extra inning contest. Pitch on its way, and there's a fastball that just misses for a ball, and the count moves to 3-0.
Well, the reason I mentioned the switch hitting Fowler is because he is hitting 323 from the left side, and from the right side when you turn him around, hitting below 200.
Here's a 3-0 pitch on its way, gets the outside corner for a called strike, and it's a 3-1 count now on Tyler Fowler. If you're head coach Eric Madsen, you may not have wanted to burn one arm.
Exactly. I think you want to go with your best guy that you have in the bullpen right now.
Or I should say, burn one
batter.
arm on one batter,
Yeah.
you know. Pitch on its way, the 3-1 again. That one's going to catch the corner for a called strike, and the count goes full, 3-2 strikes. So the runner at first base, Spencer Bloom, he can take off with the pitch. The runner at third base is a little more constrained to the third base bag here. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Brown looking into Drew Sims. Ready to go. Bloom off with the pitch on its way. Called strike 3, inning over. Carson Brown ends the inning, back-to-back strikeouts in the top of the 7th. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Utah Valley with Polson, Sims, and Madsen coming up. The Wolverines looking to try to cut into the 2-0 lead for the Tarleton Texans. Bottom of the 7th inning here in Orem. Cade Polson to lead it off for Utah Valley. Polson 0 for 2, a pop out to second and a foul out to first. as it will be Polson, Sims, and Madsen coming up here in the bottom of the 7th inning for Utah Valley. Pinedo, the left-hander, I'm trying to see here. They're looking down. Oh, the Burns, the first baseman, was trading out his glove, it looks like. I don't know if maybe something came undone. We saw back in the Sacramento State series, it was Cade Polson's glove on a ball that was thrown to first base. The webbing came undone. The pitch on its way to Polson, a fastball, misses outside for ball one. 1 ball with no strikes. Alex Pinedo on the mound, 2 so far tonight, 80 pitches for the left-hander as Polson makes contact, sends this one foul. Right here, 80 pitches for the left-hander on the night. 6 innings, 2 hits, 5 Ks, 21 batters faced. So left-hander's been pretty much in control. Breaking ball that just has a hard time breaking for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. There is some action starting to stir in that Tarleton bullpen, though. No one really throwing too hard. Just guys starting to get loose and stretch. Polson sends this one foul back over the first base grandstands, and we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, a nice homestand for the Wolverines. A 4-game homestand, though. Sorry, a 5-game homestand with the 4 here against Tarleton, and then Tuesday night back home for the University of Utah. As that one's sent foul, we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the nice thing is the weather's going to quickly change as we go throughout the rest of the series. It's going to warm up a little bit and then, kind of just level off, but we'll have some sun the rest of the way. Fly ball down the right field line into foul territory, but Green and Burns not able to get there, and do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Sorry, Ryan, that is Zach Poe, the sidewinder, is throwing down there in the bullpen for Tarleton.
Right here in this 2 ball, 2 strike count coming up. We have some, I don't want to say construction going on in my booth, Jordan. So I've been moving around a little bit, but we have some foam going up.
You going to lay down some tracks in there, Ryan?
That one's pulled foul. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, you just never know what might happen, on a Friday night here at the ballpark. But I'm one step closer to being able to do that if the thought ever crossed my mind. The 2-2 pitch on its way home to Cade Polson. Ground ball just past the third baseman, but foul. As Frew gave it a good look, but it was foul. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But, it will be kind of nice, though, to kind of take some of the echo sound out of here a little bit. So our producer, Ben, has been kind of putting this up over the last couple of innings as Polson pops this one up into shallow left center field. Is it into no man's land? Coming in and sliding is Rayburn. He can't come up with it. Polson will reach as he takes a wide turn, but will hold a long run there for Rayburn. And he made a great sliding attempt in shallow right center field, but he just couldn't quite come up with it. And right there, Utah Valley has the tying run coming to the plate and catcher Drew Sims. Sims 0 for 2, a ground out and a line out for the Wolverine catcher. Still trying to find his stride offensively on the year for Utah Valley. Pinedo ready to go, kicks and comes home, and that one blocked in the dirt for ball 1. It looks like they're going to say that Sims held up. They'll appeal to first, and he did not go. It's the 3rd hit of the night for the Wolverines right here, as Alex Pinedo really has kept those Wolverine bats quiet. The pitch on its way home, and Sims lines this one to left field. That falls for a base hit. Polson goes to second. Back-to-back hits for the Wolverines, the first time we've had that in this evening's contest. And now you bring up Mick Madsen, who's reached in both of his plate appearances here of the ball game. A base hit up the middle in the 2nd and a walk in the 5th.
Well, it's the first time that a Utah Valley batter will come with a chance to knock somebody in scoring position. First time the Wolverines have reached second base, and now here comes Aaron Mead, the head coach and the pitching coach for Tarleton. And we'll see if he makes the move to go with Zach Poe, the sidewinder down there in the bullpen.
It'll be interesting to see with that move, as you have Utah Valley doesn't have a left-handed hitter in their lineup, and so that was kind of that's going to be something interesting, I should say, to see here. How long they let Pinedo go. He's up right now over 90 pitches, so maybe you'd see if he could get, a batter, maybe two, but at this point it looks like Tarleton not going to go to the bullpen yet. However, might be on a short leash the rest of the way, and with the way that Pinedo has pitched today, boy, I tell you, he's been locked in. This is just exactly what you want from your Friday night guy if you're Tarleton.
Oh, he's been superb. But really, the first test tonight for him.
We'll see how he handles it here. Mick Madsen at the plate. Nobody out, first and second. Madsen squares around a bunt, pulls it back, and takes ball one high. With the wheel play on, with the corners crashing, the middle infielders covering the bag, Cade Polson can get an extended lead out there at second base, but has to be careful in case for some reason Kemuel Thomas Rivera, the second baseman, doesn't always crash so hard to first. Can't get caught kind of sleeping out on the base paths. The 1-0 pitch, Madsen will square around and show bunt here. Again, same kind of situation, pulls it back, takes it high, ball two. 2 balls and no strikes here on Mick Madsen.
Well, if you're Pinedo, you got to throw a strike here. Madsen is trying to give you an out. And even with runners, if Madsen were to lay one down and put runners at second and third, Utah Valley has still really struggled this season to cash in. So if you're Pinedo, you got to take this out for Madsen.
The hitter on deck is Payson Hayes. Ready to go right here. 2 balls and no strikes. Madsen turns. I'll throw to second. The ball gets into center field. Polson will dash for third. And holding at first is Drew Sims. So an extra 90 feet for Cade Polson. And now it kind of changes the situation right there. As now if you're Mick Madsen, the bunt may not necessarily be on because now a fly ball in the outfield cuts the lead down to 1.
Exactly. And I think for Alex Pinedo, I think he's just trying to do a little too much there. Instead of focusing in on that guy at the plate and taking serving one in so that you can get a bunt, so that Madsen could get a bunt down, he tried to pick off Polson and threw it into center field. A big mistake there.
Pinedo right here working, comes home to Madsen, and the 2-0 pitch settles in for a called strike, and it's 2-1 here on Mick Madsen. Madsen's had a couple of good at-bats tonight. Been off to a slow start for his season, hitting .221. They'll throw over to first, and Drew Sims dives back safely. Well, first place California Baptist playing Dixie State, and the Trailblazers have a 3-1 lead on first place California Baptist.
Hey, you should have prefaced that with breaking news.
Madsen rules that one foul. Has 2 balls and 2 strikes right here. The New Mexico State leading Grand Canyon 3-2. That one in the top of the 7th down in Las Cruces. That second bye on the line right there between those two teams, second and third place in the conference. So kind of some big series this weekend. The 2-2 pitch on the corner, outside and low, ball 3. The count goes full to Mick Madsen. You would have to think if Pinedo walks Mick Madsen, that might probably be the end of the road for Pinedo tonight. We'll see what he does here. 3-2 pitch on its way home. High, ball 4, bases full of Wolverines here in the 7th. The second walk for Mick Madsen, as I think they're trying to check down to the bullpen to see if he's loose. Payson Hayes will be the hitter. And no idea yet as to whether or not they're going to go make the move. They don't have to do it in between batters. They can do it in the middle of the count. So for now, Pinedo will be the pitcher facing Payson Hayes. Bases chucked full of Wolverines. The pitch, Hayes, ground ball, foul. Kicks off the side of the concrete by the dugout there. Strike 1. Bases full. Cade Polson at third. Drew Sims at second. Mick Madsen at first. With nobody out, if Payson Hayes can just lift a fly ball like he did last time to the outfield, would be deep enough to get Cade Polson home.
Hey, a double play ball would do it as well.
And there's going to be a fly ball hit well to center, right at Rayburn. He will dive and make the catch for the out, but the diving catch easily allows Cade Polson to score. An RBI sac fly there for Payson Hayes, and it's a 2-1 lead for for Tarleton. Utah Valley able to find a way to get the run home.
Well, an excellent job by Pace and Hayes to put the ball in play there, get the run home. Utah Valley really caught a break there, because if the center fielder Rayburn is able to stay on his feet to make that grab, they're not going to send Polson from third. That was not deep enough.
About the only other way they would is give him maybe a hard 5-step try and see where the throw's at. But I don't think with no outs in the inning, you're gonna run that risk. Here's Jeff Ahrens at the plate, and that one's fouled away. It's tough when you get to the later innings, because your idea of calculating the risk really changes, because you don't want to calculate it to the point where you say, hey, you know, we really want to get a run across. So you have to find a balance between being aggressive and too aggressive. Here's the 0-1 pitch, about ready to come home. And Ahrens fouls it straight back, and now Jeff Ahrens down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Pinedo now is over 100 pitches. That is pitch 101 on the night for Pinedo.
Related to that, Ryan, a new right-hander throwing Luke Bailey down there in the Tarleton bullpen playing catch.
Utah Valley with the tying run at second base is Drew Sims. Ready to go right here. Checking the runner, the pitch on its way. High and tight, turns out of the way for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Jeff Ahrens. Ahrens has struck out and lined out. A big gap out in left center field. If a line drive would split Seltzer and Rayburn out in left and center field, as Ahrens swings and misses strike 3.
Well, that was off the corner, a breaking ball, and a nice slider from Pinedo that got Ahrens to chase just a bit out of the strike zone. An excellent 1-2 pitch.
And so now Andrew Hacker will be the hitter. Hacker has struck out and also popped out to second on the evening for Utah Valley. And a situation here where it's going to have to be probably hit pretty deep out in the outfield to get Drew Sims home. A base hit may not do it. And the first pitch in there for a called strike, it's 0-1. And if you look at London Green in right field, Green playing relatively shallow. You can't see it at on your picture at home.
Very, very shallow out
playing,
there,
yeah. And a fly ball hit opposite way to the warning track, and Green's going to have some wheels to kind of chase that one down. Hacker rolls this one to second. Up with it, and the throw to first from Thomas Rivera is in time, and the inning is over. Utah Valley able to get 1 back, though. We head to the 8th. 2-1, Tarleton leading Utah Valley on the WAC Digital Network. Top of the 8th inning here in Orem. It's a 2-1 lead for Tarleton on top of Utah Valley. It will be 3, 4, and 5. Thomas Rivera, Blake Burns, and then London Green coming up. Should say Kemuel Thomas Rivera makes his way into the box, and making his way into the booth with the play-by-play is Jordan Pianucci.
Thank you, Ryan. So a big moment here, big inning here for Carson Brown, trying to keep Utah Valley within 1 run. The pitch, Thomas Rivera takes a ball outside. The Wolverines had 2 men on, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th, but plated just the 1 as a fastball gets away off the glove of Sims over his head into the backstop. 2 balls and no strikes. So right now, Brown's got to take a breath and throw some strikes. Thomas Rivera 0 for 3 tonight. There's a swing and a foul. He jammed him with a fastball in on the hands. And it's 2-1. I mentioned tomorrow game 1 of a doubleheader will begin at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time here at UCCU Ballpark. Game 2 of the doubleheader will follow shortly after the conclusion of the first. A swing and a foul back. 2-2. Well, it'll be interesting, Ryan, to see if Aaron Meade sends out Alex Pinedo to begin the 8th inning. He's been excellent, but as you mentioned, up over just about 100 pitches, 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses way up high from Brown. It's 3-2.
Well, and the challenging part too, Jordan, is it's a one-run ball game now. So you miss with one pitch, you have a potential to, to have the ball game tied. And while you can't really have that mentality of a pitcher of what if this happens, you have to kind of have that positive mentality. As that one misses low and outside for ball 4 to Kemuel Thomas Rivera. But a big kind of some of those big time moments in the ball game where you have to try to see if you can push across that run. And right here, it's going to be a big situation. We'll see. But I think Pinedo's line is looking pretty good right now. I don't know if I would push it too far at this point much longer.
So a leadoff walk issued by Carson Brown. That's a mistake in a one-run ball game as the left-handed hitting Burns comes to bat. He knocked in Tarleton's first run of the game. That was back in the first inning. Fastball on the outside corner, called for strike 1. Thomas Rivera held on by Polson at first base. He's stolen 2 bases this year, but has not been caught. Brown checks on him over his shoulder. Now the ball gets through Sims, and taking second on, we'll see if that's a pass ball or a wild pitch. Either way, there's a man in scoring position with nobody out for Tarleton State. That was not a crazy wild pitch. That's when you see the Sims knocked down almost all the time. It is ruled a wild pitch, though. But it got through his legs there. Fastball misses up high to Burns, and it's 2-1. And now some guys begin to stretch down in the Utah Valley bullpen. McMatson coming in from third base to have a word with the right-hander on the mound. On a cold night in Orem, you can see beyond left and center field the snow-capped Wasatch Mountains. As Brown peers in. The 2-1, a swing and a chopper up the middle. That's going to score the run as Hacker comes up with it in center. Stopping at first is Burns, and the Texans get that run back as Thomas Rivera comes in to score. It is 3-1 Tarleton. For Burns, his second RBI of the night. Not a terribly hard hit ball, but Morales was pulled well to the right. And a lot of space for that chopper to find the outfield, I was going to say grass, the synthetic grass, as a right-hander begins to get loose in the bullpen for Utah Valley. So the switch hitting Green, hitting from the left side, comes to the plate. He shows bunt, pulls it back. Fastball misses high and away, ball 1.
Spencer Triplett, the right-hander, throwing for Utah Valley.
Well, we've said it so many times, but right now for Utah Valley, you have to keep this game close. You have 6 outs to work with, trailing 3-1. The pitch, bunt is popped back and out of play into the seats. And the count is even at 1-1. Green doubled back in the 4th inning. He reached first on a little infield single in the 1st inning. He is 2 for 3. 2 homers on the year. Outfield straight away and deep. Throw over to first, back in is Burns. Matson in on the edge of the grass at third base. Bunt shown, and it's bunted back to Brown. He may go to second. He will, and they get the force out. Nice play by Carson Brown. Not a good bunt by London Green. So the Wolverines are able to keep the runner at first on the fielder's choice.
And you've seen You've seen a couple of times tonight with especially with the Tarleton runners, not so much with Utah Valley, but you've seen a couple of times. That's the second time tonight a Tarleton base runner into second base has slid past the second base bag or close to it, and even there you kind of saw the runner get beyond that. That's part of the things with the turf that can happen.
Ground ball to second. Morales has it. He throws to first. They got him. What a play by Mitch Morales, ranging to his left on a slow chopper, then sliding on that slick turf, coming up with it, and throwing to first to get Rayburn. An excellent play by Morales. The ball was hit so slowly, which allowed Morales the time to get to it. And I think that's going to do it for Carson Brown as Eric Matson comes out. We'll see if he makes the move, as there will be a runner at second base with 2 down for Seltzer coming to the plate. Matson will indeed take the ball from Brown, and you mentioned, Ryan, that's Triplett in the bullpen. He will come in to pitch for the Wolverines. A big moment in this game. 3-1 Texans were in the top of the 8th inning. We'll take a break on the WAC Digital Network.
Top of the 8th inning in Orem, new right-handed pitcher Spencer Triplett, the 6-foot senior from Providence, Utah, Mountain Crest High School, and South Mountain Community College will take over here for the Wolverines. Triplett, we've seen be used a couple of times more of the closer role here for the Wolverines. Coming in on the year, the right-hander getting ready to go to work here. On the year, Triplett 1-2 with 3 saves, 15 innings pitched, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts. Looking to try to get Utah Valley out of the 8th inning, Jordan, with only the 1 run given up.
Well, it's a big task with a man in scoring position facing Seltzer. Seltzer's reached on a walk, otherwise 0 for 2. Came around to score last inning to extend Tarleton's lead at the time 2-0. They lead 3-1 now. Triplett set, here it comes. Fastball in at the knees, a low strike given by Matt McMahon, 0-1. Triplett checks on the runner. The 1 strike offering. Curveball and a beauty right there on the inside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. Top of the order in the 8th inning for Utah Valley, Broussard, Morales, and Marco due up. Green with his lead at second, a very fast runner. The 2-strike pitch to Seltzer. Down in the turf, nice block by Sims. So Triplett does not have to come into the strike zone here. He can work the corners and try to get Seltzer to chase something. The outfield medium deep for Utah Valley. Pulled way over into the hole is Broussard at shortstop. Morales playing up the middle. The pitch way over, and Sims has to range for it. Now a throw down to third, not in time. Green again slides over the bag. He just gets back with his left hand. He is safe, and he's 90 feet closer. Boy, Green has just terrific speed, but I don't think Tarleton is used to playing on a slick turf like this, Ryan. They have slid past the bag, as you've mentioned, 3 or 4 times tonight.
Now you have to remember too, the playing surface here may be slick if you get out and run on it from some of the rain we had earlier today.
2-2 fouled away there.
So the turf might be playing a little bit different. You have to remember, we haven't had a rain like we've had today and had a home game in the same kind of hour like that. And so you could see some extra slide tonight just from that.
Absolutely, and even when this turf, we've been told when it's dry, you do have to slide earlier even then. The 2-2 pitch coming to Seltzer. Inside, ball 3, a breaking ball missed. So that puts a lot of extra pressure on Triplett because a ball does not necessarily have to get to the backstop for Green to score from third. He's that fast. He has a short lead down there, though. Full count, here it comes to Seltzer. Strike 3 called at the knees. Seltzer cannot believe it. He was on his way to first base. He thought it was low, but Triplett gets the call. Well done by Triplett to come in. They strand a runner on the base paths. However, 1 run comes home for the Texans. We go to the 8th. It's 3-1 Tarleton on the WAC Digital Network.
Bottom of the 8th inning in Orem, the Tarleton Texans making a pitching change. They will go to number 17, the right-hander Zach Poe. Poe on the year, 2-0, making his 15th appearance. He's got a 4.41 ERA. He's thrown 16 innings for Tarleton on the year. Opponents hitting 269 off the right-hander, who kind of, I don't want to call it a submarine style, but kind of with that sidearm kind of delivery here. So we'll see what Poe can do here for the Texans. Has the top of the Utah Valley lineup, and Jordan, if there's a time that you're Utah Valley to try to find some offense with the way that Pinedo pitched today, you want to try to see if you can go ahead and get something going here against Poe. At least get some base runners on and kind of see what can happen. It's a 2-run ball game, 6 outs to work with for the Wolverines. 6 outs and 2 runs, that's doable.
It is. Poe from the stretch with the bases empty. Broussard takes a fastball, strike 1. Transfer from Paris Junior College, 6'1", 200 pounds. Poe comes home, swing and a miss, and a good breaking ball there. Broussard way out in front, and it's 0-2. Poe peering in as Morales checks his swing. Poe, a fastball slider, I believe, changeup guy. Good slider, 1-2 pitch. A swing and a little bloop, shallow right center field coming in and sliding and making the grab is Green. What a play. London Green with an excellent defensive play coming in, sliding on his backside and coming up with the basket style catch. One away.
Garrett Broussard was pretty confident that ball had dropped, quickly turning to the umpire saying, no, that ball dropped, but a long run there for London Green, who's been playing rather shallow tonight than what we've seen from other right fielders. If he's playing a little more back in normal depth, he probably doesn't get to that baseball right there.
First pitch, fastball at the knees, called for a strike one to Morales. Morales does not like that call. He thought that was down and in, and you can definitely sympathize. But Matt McMahon has called that inside corner to righties all night. That one was just happened to be low as well, a little below the kneecaps. One strike pitch way outside, and it's 1-1. Well, Ryan, you hear the name Poe, and you think of that beating heart. And the Wolverines, their heart still beating. Here in the 8th, down by 2, 5 outs to play with. Fastball misses outside, a little low, and it's 2-1.
I remember talking a couple weeks ago, and I said, sometimes Utah Valley likes to swing early at the first pitch, maybe the first one or two pitches. You've seen here in this series here, or tonight at least anyway, they've been a little more patient and worked the count to a little more of their favor.
Swinging a ground ball to first, backhanded by Burns on his knees. The underhand to the pitcher covering. He is safe. So a nice job by Morales putting it in play and then just hustling up that first base line. And that will bring up Marco with a man on. What a huge play. They're going to call that an error. But that's what happens when you put pressure on the defense, and that allows the tying run to come to bat.
Well, that's one of those things you talk about, like in spring training for Major League Baseball, how much they work with the pitchers on being able to cover the bag and getting that toss. And sometimes on a cool night like this, Jordan, the ball can kind of pick up some moisture and it can just maybe kind of slip out of your hands or out of your glove, or you get looking down to make sure you're touching the base and you just take your eye off it for just that split second. And that split second's the difference there between out number 2 and the runner on first with the tying run coming to the plate.
PFPs, the all-important PFPs. 0-1 to Marco. He could tie it with one swing of the bat. Poe taking his time. Now the pitch. A swing and a high fly ball, shallow center field. Rayburn in. Reaching up, makes the grab on that giant Wolverine logo out there in center. And just like that, 2 away, it'll be up to Cade Polson here in the 8th inning. Well, Utah Valley did not have a runner reach second base until the 7th inning tonight. In that inning, they had 2 men on, nobody out, ultimately scored just the 1 run. They trail 3-1 in this one. Morales held on at first by Burns. Poe throws. There goes Morales. A hit and run zone as Polson swings and fouls it down the right field line. Morales got a pretty good jump there. He has stolen 4 bases on the year. Leads the Wolverines in that category by far. Polson, another guy that could tie it with 1 swing of the bat. He has 3 home runs on the year. Hitting .255. The 1-strike pitch. Slider missed, down and away. Count even at 1-1. Well, if you're Poe, you can be somewhat careful with Polson with the struggling Drew Sims on deck. However, Sims did single in his last at bat. Here's the pitch to Cade. Down low, miss. Snap throw to first. Back in diving safely is Morales. Well, if you're Morales, you got one job. Do not make an out on the base paths. The Wolverines are trailing by 2 runs. You're not taking any chances if you're Morales. Bottom of the 8th inning, a man on, 2 out. 3-1 Tarleton. The pitch to Polson. Down and in, 3-1. So now Cade can lay in wait, maybe let out some shaft, see if he can tie it with one swing of the bat, at least put one in the gap. And I don't know about you, Ryan, I am quite surprised by how shallow Green is playing in right field.
He's playing back a little further than he was, but still with hitters like in Utah Valley situation where they like to go the opposite way, how many fly balls have we seen tonight that have gone out to right fairly deep? So Green, who has good wheels, but still I don't know if I'd risk it in a 2-run ball game.
3-1 pitch, a swing and a ground ball foul down the right field line. I think partly maybe what it is Green has such terrific speed. They may say he's such a tremendous defensive player, a ball hit over his head, like say a routine fly ball, he can get back to it and make the play. So that may be partly taken into consideration by Aaron Meade and his Texans. Full count now to Polson.
The only thing that concerns me with right field here in this ballpark is how it jets out by the scoreboard. Yeah, down the line, it's a shorter porch, so it's easier to cover that ground, but out towards the gap, not as much.
3-2 into center field. That's going to drop in front of Rayburn. Heading first to third is Morales, and Polson keeps the Wolverines alive here in the 8th. A nice job. A sinking liner out there in left center, I should say. And now the tying run is on base, and Sims will come to bat with 2 outs, representing the go-ahead run. And Aaron Meade is now coming out of the dugout. We'll see if he just wants to have a chat. No, he does not. He's not in the mood to talk. He's going to go to the bullpen. We will take a brief break here on the WAC Digital Network. We'll come back. A big moment in this ball game. Tying run on, go-ahead run at the plate. 3-1 Texans with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be back after this.
Bottom of the 8th inning here in Orem, Utah Valley threatening with the tying runners on the base paths right here. The leading run coming to the plate, and Tarleton will make a pitching change. They will go to the right-hander, A.J. Wood. Wood, a 2.87 ERA, 1-1 on the year, making his 13th appearance. 6 saves for the right-hander, who's gone 15 2/3 of an inning, 1 walk to 20 strikeouts. And so when you really take a look at it, the walk to strikeout ratio, just what you're looking for out of a closer right here. Drew Sims will be the hitter. And right now, if you're Utah Valley, Jordan, you just want to kind of keep this momentum and keep this inning going. And you'd love to get another base hit here from Drew Sims.
Absolutely. 2 outs, 2 on. It's up to Sims to keep this rally going for Utah Valley, as you said, Ryan. A.J. Wood from the stretch, working from the far right side of the slab. Far first base side, I should say. The pitch to him. Strike. Belt high on the outside corner, and it's 0-1 to Sims, who singled in his last at bat. Wood, a fastball, slider, changeup guy. There's a fastball right there on the outside corner. He painted the black, and it's quickly 0-2 to Drew Sims. So now Sims has to shorten up and protect. Burns holding on the runner at first. That's Polson, and he's the tying run. 3-1 Texans, bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. Morales at third base. The pitch to Drew Sims. Check swing, ball in the turf. He did not go around. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Wood. A swing and a base hit through the right side. Morales comes in to score. Stopping at second is Polson. It's 3-2. Drew Sims coming up huge. He got a fastball, did what he could with it, went the other way. Just a tremendous job by Drew Sims to keep this inning going. An excellent at bat after falling behind 0-2.
And when you take a look at it, Jordan, what's the natural tendency right there as a right-handed hitter? Get out in front, roll over on it, ground ball to third, instead of just taking where the pitcher gives it to you and just sends it to right field. I mean, that's what I think makes that bat more impressive. Down in the count 0-2, goes the other way with it, does a nice job instead of your natural tendency to try to pull through the baseball.
So here's Matson, who takes a strike, and Matson's had 3 good at-bats tonight. He's reached base all 3 times, a couple of walks and a single. The 1 strike offering to Mick Matson. A swing and a foul tip, and he falls behind 0-2. So you don't want to make a habit out of falling behind A.J. Wood. He's struck out 20 batters this season. Polson is at second, the tying run. Sims the go-ahead run at first. 2 outs in the inning. Here it comes to Mick. A swing and a base hit through the right side. Heading around third, digging for home is Polson. The throw will come and be cut off. And we are all tied up at 3. Two-out rally here in the 8th, and Utah Valley has cashed in, and we are tied up. Matson starting to swing the bat well here after struggling so much earlier on this season. Sims takes third on the single. Now a base hit would give the Wolverines the lead.
I think for me, Jordan, that's the impressive thing with both of those at-bats is this is a Utah Valley team that at times this year hasn't had the best at-bats. Here they're working counts. They're getting back to the basics of getting in the box and hitting, and they're saying, okay, fine, you know what? You're going to give me a pitch away as a right-handed hitter. I'm going to drive it the other way to right.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter. It is Brandon Luna. The pitch to him. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Luna on the year, a left-handed batter coming in for Payson Hayes. Luna's hit one deep earlier this season. Even stance from the left side. Wood set. The one-strike offering. A swing and a ground ball to first. He has it. I should say he has it. Burns has it, I beg your pardon. And Luna and the Wolverines are retired. However, Utah Valley comes back. They score 2 runs and tie the game. We go to the 9th inning. It's the Texans 3, the Wolverines 3 on the WAC Digital Network. Top of the 9th inning, 3-3 our score. Some defensive changes for Utah Valley. Tavin Lords comes in to play center. Andrew Hacker moves to left field. So Aarons is, I believe, no longer in the ball game, and we'll see if Luna stays put as the DH in that 7 spot. So it'll be interesting to see where Utah Valley, they have that 8 spot in Aarons coming up to lead off the 9th. We'll see who's in that spot. Spencer Triplett is out on the mound. First pitch, ball 1 to Frew. It'll be Frew, Bloom, and Aguilar here in the 9th inning. 3-3 after Utah Valley scores twice in the bottom of the 8th to rally late here in this ball game. Now a fastball gets away from Triplett to the backstop. 2-0. So the last thing Triplett wants to do here is walk the leadoff man. I feel like I've said that phrase 100 times this year, right? Ryan, there have been a lot of leadoff walks for Utah Valley and the ball clubs they've played. 2-0. Triplett from the stretch, a swing and a miss at a fastball. Challenged him there. He comes up empty. It's 2-1. Frew tonight has reached base twice on a couple of infield singles. 2-1 pitch to him. Inside, 3-1. Well, that 2-out rally for Utah Valley in the bottom of the 8th, plates 2, thanks to an RBI single by Mick Matson as well as Drew Sims. 3-1 pitch here from Triplett. A swing and a foul. Challenged him again with the fastball. Count is full. Frew, a right-handed batter, even stance. And 3-2 fastball misses way inside, and Triplett does indeed walk the go-ahead run. And that hurts because obviously if Frew gets a base hit, it's one thing, but a walk is a gift. And as David Carter, Utah Valley's associate head coach, always says, you cannot defend against the walk. That is to say, your defense is helpless. The Wolverines have a good middle infield. Here's a bunt shown by Bloom. He pulls it back and takes a ball. The middle infield would love a double play ball here. Utah Valley is 20th in the nation in double plays turned this season. Bunt shown, fastball misses, high and away, ball 2. Matson is crashing in from third base, and now Eric Matson, the head coach, does not like what he sees here with Spencer Triplett, who's having a tough time finding the strike zone. Triplett is visibly frustrated, taking off his cap and slumping his shoulders a bit. They're going to send Devin Smith down to the bullpen to get ready in a hurry for the Wolverines as Eric Matson comes out and has the infield come in to have a conversation. Well, the Texans struck first in this game with a run in the first inning thanks to a Burns single. They then added on in the 7th and the 8th inning to make it a 3-1 game at the time, and the Wolverines rallied with 2 in the last of the 8th to tie it up. Bloom, who's just trying to lay down a bunt, is 2 for 3 tonight. A couple of singles. But he's just trying to move Frew into scoring position. He'd like to bunt it up the first base side where Polson's holding on the runner. And he does. It's a good one. Over to field it is Triplett off the mound. Throws to first. They got him, but a nice job done by Spencer Bloom. And Frew moves to second with just 1 out in the inning. So that turns the order over, and it'll be Brian Aguilar. Well, now if you're Spencer Triplett, it is certainly a strikeout situation. I'll tell you what, Ryan, Triplett threw a strike after that conversation with the head coach. I think it was a stern meeting on the mound. He poured that one in there. The pitch misses, down and in. Ball 1 to Aguilar, who is 0 for 4 tonight.
Well, I think this just kind of shows you where Utah Valley is with this game, because, I mean, you come back, you score runs late, and Utah Valley, I don't have the number in front of me, but their record when trailing after 7 was relatively low this year. And so what you don't want to see now is you've worked so hard to tie the ball game, you don't want to have a couple of little things here to lose to trail. The words are slipping my mind tonight, but you don't want to, after all that work, have to then continue to do more work. You'd rather have a chance to tie a ball game, win it in the bottom of the 9th, and go home with the game 1 win. Winning game 1 of the series dramatically changes the rest of the weekend, I feel like.
And this is a vital series for Utah Valley. A swing and a ground ball foul hit sharply down the third base line, and the count is 1-2. For Utah Valley, you have a tough schedule coming up. And while the Texans are obviously not a bad baseball team by any means, this is a series coming into the season on paper. If you're Utah Valley, you go, well, they're making the transition to Division I. That's a series we need to win. I think the Wolverines feel that way, but the Texans, boy, they can swing the bats and they can pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. He froze him with a fastball at 89 miles an hour. An excellent pitch by Triplett. He reached back and found something extra. 2 outs in the inning.
And that's a big out right there, Jordan, because if you're Eric Madsen, you're the Wolverines, you've just given yourself flexibility. The reason why I say that, 2 outs with first base open now, you've given yourself some options. Who do we rather want to face in the situation? Do we want to face Fowler, who hits really well from the left side of the plate? Do we want to face Rivera? You're giving yourself some options here without really hurting yourself anymore.
Pitch to Fowler, swung on and fouled off. Well, they're going right after him. They're not going to mess around. That was a challenge fastball that he fouled off. You mentioned, Ryan, how well Fowler is hitting from the right side. He's hitting .323. Now, you do have Thomas Rivera on deck. He's hitting .279 from the right side, so not bad by any means either. Kind of a pick-your-poison situation. The 1-strike pitch. Curveball misses outside, and it's 1-1.
But you use a key word there. You get to pick. And I mean, that's a big thing late in the ball game. There's a lot of times, Jordan, late in the ball game, you don't have options. You're kind of stuck with whatever situation you're dealt with. This is an opportunity where Utah Valley is going to pitch to Fowler, but they have options as to who they want to face.
Well, it shows you how much confidence that Eric Matson has in the right-hander on the mound, because as we mentioned, Fowler's not hitting particularly well when you turn him around as a switch hitter and make him hit it off a lefty. But Eric Matson trusts Triplett to get the job done. The go-ahead run at second base. 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Tie game. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Fowler. He singled and scored in the first. Now time taken, as Sims and Triplett try to get on the same page. Here's the 1-1. Fastball high and outside, not close. It's 2-1. Well, on the season, Fowler has 3 home runs. 15 men batted home. Morales, the second baseman, pulled way over to the right, trying to plug up that first base side. The 2-1 offering. Fastball off the outside, and now it's 3-1. Well, as you mentioned, Ryan, 3-1 here with a base open. You do not have to challenge Fowler if you do not want to. However, you got a 294 hitter on deck. Here comes the 3-1 from Triplett. A swing and a high fly ball, center field. Lord's coming in. He has it, and the inning is over. Well done by Spencer Triplett to work around the leadoff walk. We head to the last of the 9th. It'll be the spot Aaron's occupied in the order, then Hacker and Broussard. 8, 9, and 1 for Utah Valley. We're tied at 3, heading to the bottom of the 9th on the WAC Digital Network. Tavin Lords to lead off the 9th. He came in as a defensive replacement back in the top half of this inning. So he will hit here from the left side, facing A.J. Wood on the mound. Wood came in last inning, and although he made some good pitches, he ultimately gave up 2 runs that allowed the Wolverines to score, and now Lords, not sure what he's missing, but he got something from Hacker in the on-deck circle. Maybe a lucky something or other, Ryan. Who knows? Wood set, here it comes. Lords shows bunt, really just flashed it, then pulled back as a ball misses down low.
And this is what, on a night like this, Jordan, I think I go up there trying to work the count. It's cold. It's not easy for a pitcher's arm to stay warm, especially coming right out of the dugout after, resting in between innings. I don't know. I think I might make Wood throw a strike or two before I really try to swing unless I get a good pitch.
Got a good pitch there and swung on and fouled it back to the backstop. So 1 ball and 1 strike. A fastball there from A.J. Wood. He rubs up a new baseball. Hacker on deck. Broussard in the hole. We are all tied up at 3. Bottom of the 9th. Utah Valley trying to complete the comeback. They trailed 3-1 in this game in the late innings. The 1-1 pitch to Lords. A swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Lords hitting .244 on the year. He's had just 45 at bats. He is a fast runner. No home runs for him. From the stretch, Wood on top of the slab. Now he's ready. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Bloom, and there's one away in the 9th. So here is Hacker with the bases empty. It was, of course, Hacker this past weekend who came up with the huge home run in the 11th inning against UTRGV, which gave the Wolverines the lead, and ultimately they prevailed down in the heart of Texas. Hacker, a home run here, would send the Wolverines home. Here's the pitch. A check swing and a foul off the screen. Off-speed pitch there from Wood. Broussard is on deck. First time that Hacker has faced Wood. Righty versus righty, the 1-strike offering. Here it is. A swing and a foul back to the screen. Wood really just pounds the strike zone. And Utah Valley just a little behind the fastball. The base hits they came up with in the last of the 8th were textbook going the other way and just taking what Wood gave them. 2-strike pitch now to Hacker. Here it is. Fastball misses up. 1-2. Not a great 0-2 pitch, an easy take for Utah Valley's outfielder. Hacker hitting .207 on the year. He's just had 29 at bats. The freshman trying to get on here in the 9th. Tie game. 1-2 pitch. Way outside and high, and the count is even at 2-2. I failed to mention that Hacker, that home run, the big one down at UTRGV, this is his first collegiate homer. Quite a moment for him last weekend. Big moment here, 2-2. Here it comes from Wood. Curveball frozen. A beauty from Wood, and they're 2 away as Hacker is down on strikes.
Now back to the Wolverines, shortstop number 10, Garrett Broussard.
So here's Broussard. It is up to the Utah Valley shortstop to keep this one from going to extras. It is important to note that the extra innings will begin with a man at second base, what they have deemed the quote-unquote international rules. As Wood's set, here it comes to Broussard. He takes the ball up high. So in the 10th, I believe it's the last man to make an out in the previous inning. It would be Fowler to start out on second base for the Texans. Well, Broussard, though, trying to rally here in the bottom of the 9th. 3-3 our score. The pitch. Fastball on the inside corner, and the count is even at 1-1. If Broussard can get on, it would then be the heart of Utah Valley's order. Morales, Marco Polson. But 2 outs, bases empty. The outfield medium deep, just about straight away for Tarleton. The 1-1 pitch to Broussard. A swing and a pop-up. Right field, Green coming in. It's going to be Green. He makes the grab, and we are going to extra innings here in Orem. The Wolverines go down in order. So, Utah Valley and Tarleton 9 is not enough. We go to the 10th. It's 3-3 on the WAC Digital Network. We head to the 10th inning. We're going to have a pinch runner beginning things at second base, part of that new rule the WAC is trying out during this 2021 season. It's going to be Colby Ferris out at second, running for Fowler. So in a tie game, runner at second base to begin the inning. The batter will be Kemuel Thomas Rivera. He walked and scored a run in the 8th inning. So right away, the pressure on for Spencer Triplett, working his 3rd inning in relief. The pitch, a swing and a chopper. Ooh, look out into the Wolverine dugout, and it bounces out again, but Utah Valley does have a man up in the bullpen. That is Devin Smith down there. So 0-1 to Thomas Rivera. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, a breaking ball, and it's 1-1. Ryan, since Eric Matson went out to the mound last inning, after it seemed like Triplett couldn't throw a strike, he is to really turn things around.
Sometimes that quick visit out to the mound just, I don't know, like rattles your cages a little bit or settles you down. I mean, I don't know, but I guess that comes back to each coach knowing exactly which buttons to press of their player, and it's worked well.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. He froze him with a curveball. 1 away in the 10th. What a huge strikeout with that man at second base to begin the inning.
Well, Jordan, this kind of goes back to what we talked about last inning. That's a huge strikeout there to get Rivera, because now again you have options. Do you want to face Burns? First base is open. You don't have to. Looks like they're going to, but you definitely don't have to face one of the best hitters in the WAC if you don't want to. So, or in any situation. I mean, Tarleton can do the same thing. If they don't want to face the guy, they can put him on and open up the double play.
You make an excellent point, and that's one of the criticisms of this rule, at least in the Major League Baseball conversations, is that, well, if you have your stud guy coming up, the 1-0 misses down and away, it's 2-0. It's an automatic intentional walk. Why, especially in the bottom half of the inning, when the run at second wins it, why wouldn't, we'll see in the last of the 10th, if it is a tie game still, and Morales comes up, if Tarleton doesn't want to face Morales, they have nothing to lose by putting him on.
Well, and it also brings up the point, too, of how you play it, let's say, in the top of the 9th inning, where let's say you have a hitter who's coming up to the plate, and you go, you know, if we don't want to face him, we have a chance, we can put him on if we get the next guy.
2-0 fouled back, it's 2-1.
then that hitter that gets out's the one that starts as well, which I like in the sense where you're not punishing, you're not able to necessarily pitch around the pitcher, or the hitter at the plate and then start that. But when you really take a look at it, though, Jordan, like, it's given a lot of flexibility. I kind of wish they would start with the runner on first if they were going to do that, just to kind of, I don't know. Starting with the runner in scoring position, I feel like always puts the defense in a pinch to try to get that out.
Absolutely it does. This one's fouled off.
It's raining foam in my booth here.
Oh, no, the sound dampeners are coming off the walls here in extra innings.
I would bet money that one's going to hit me in the head, but
well, it's made of foam.
I'm not a gambling man.
A swing and a foul. What was the spread on this game, Ryan? You, of all people, would know.
No, I really wouldn't.
Did you make money by this going to extra innings? Did you make that prop?
No. Unfortunately, gambling on college sports, Jordan's is a no-no. Just in case you were wondering.
For the employees, you mean?
Yeah, I don't think we should go there.
Well, I ask because it's legal. The 2-2 pitch, I think so. Ball misses outside, a full count to Burns. Yeah, I can imagine that if you worked in an athletic department, yeah, that would be frowned upon. Not a great idea.
Couple of interesting finals really quick, Jordan. Seattle beat Sacramento State 6-0. Dixie State beating California Baptist 3-1.
Wow. Triplett misses outside, and he walks Burns, so now runners at first and second here in the 10th, and that brings up Green.
That's really not a bad idea there to pitch at least pitch around Burns.
Be very careful with him at the very least.
And then now, I mean, you put the double play in order. You also put the force out at third. I mean, yeah, London Green has good speed, but again, you're able to put yourself in a position where you're giving yourself what, Jordan? My favorite word tonight. You're giving yourself options.
You are, but as you mentioned, Green's going to have to hit a ball very hard on the ground to double him up. The pitch to him. The left-handed hitter takes a fastball way outside, ball one. Triplett's got to dig down here, find the strike zone. Green tonight has singled and doubled. He's also reached on a fielder's choice. Burns at first, Ferris at second. One out in the 10th. Triplett comes home. A swing and a high fly ball. Right center field, Marco moving over. It's going to be Marco. He has it, tagging at second. Ferris, the throw comes into second. Trying to tag and go to first, trying to tag and go from first to second on a risky play was Burns, and he just made it. So second and third with 2 outs. Boy, that is a risky play from Burns, and it's hard to criticize him because he made it safely, but if you make that out at second base, that is a huge mistake.
I think they were hoping and kind of gambling on the fact that Alexander Marco was going to fire to third base and try to get the runner. We've seen Alexander Marco a couple of times this year get kind of caught in the moment and try to fire home to make the out or try to get that extra base runner, and then the back end runner is able to move up.
Yeah, Marco did an excellent job hitting his cutoff man there as a pitch is taken outside for ball one to the left-handed hitting Rayburn. Rayburn is 0 for 4 tonight. 3-3. We're in the top of the 10th inning. Burns at second, Ferris at third. Triplett comes home. A swing and a foul. High and off to the left. Devin Smith is ready in that Utah Valley bullpen, should they need him. In the bottom of the 10th inning, it will be 2, 3, and 4 for Utah Valley. Morales, Marco, and Polson. So that incentivizes Tarleton even more to get as many runs as you can here in the top of the 10th. The 1-1 pitch coming. A swing and another foul, high and off to the left. A fastball left up in the zone, but on the outer portion of the plate. A lot of fans still left here on a very, very cold night in Utah Valley. A doubleheader tomorrow beginning at 1 p.m. Texans about hit the Wolverines tonight, 9-7. But it's 3-3. The pitch. A swing and a fly ball down the left field line. Coming in hard is Hacker near the bullpen. He slides and he can't make the grab. It falls just shy of the bullpen that has a low fence surrounding it, which makes that a much tougher play for Andrew Hacker. And Rayburn stays alive. Seltzer is on deck should Rayburn reach. A base hit would most likely score 2. A huge pitch coming from Triplett. 1 and 2 does not have to throw one right down the middle. In fact, he does not want to do that. Here it is. Fastball misses up high. Not a great 1-2 pitch. That one at 90 miles an hour, though, as it was an easy take for Rayburn. Rayburn on the year is hitting .273. No home runs for him. Slightly open stance. The 2-2. A swing and a liner down the left field line, foul. Devin Smith making the play in the bullpen down there. So nice job by Rayburn to stay alive. Triplett has thrown over 40 pitches in relief. He came in back in the 8th inning. Has not given up a run. It's the first time, actually, he has faced Rayburn tonight. 2-2 pitch. A swing and a topper foul. That was an off-speed pitch that Rayburn just got a piece of. 2-2, the count remains. This inning started with Ferris, a pinch runner at second base, a new rule in extra innings and WAC play. Following a strikeout, Burns then walked. Each runner advanced on a fly ball by Green. 2-2 pitch from Triplett. Here it is. Fastball high and away, and the count runs full. Well, you have a base open, but Triplett does not want to walk Rayburn, because then the bases are loaded and you do not give yourself a whole lot of room for error. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Fastball, outside, ball 4. Spencer Triplett's upset with the home plate umpire, Matt McMahon, but I think that was the correct call, outside. And the bases are loaded for Colby Seltzer, the sophomore. Seltzer tonight has reached base once on a walk. He's also scored a run. He was the first man that Triplett faced with runners on back in the 8th inning. Triplett struck him out. Righty versus righty. What a big moment. Bases loaded. Tie game in the 10th. Triplett set. Here it is. Fastball down low. Ball 1. And Triplett's got to dig down. Got to dig deep here, and he's got to focus on the task at hand. He's not happy with the home plate umpire, Matt McMahon. He kind of slumping his shoulders out there with some bad body language. He's got to focus in and get this out. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball gets the call on the inside corner.
You bring up a good point there, Jordan, because so much of pitching can be mental, the mental battle between you and the hitter, that you start bringing in some of those other factors. It's easy to be like, hey, that pitch just barely off the corner was actually, maybe 6 inches off the corner. It's easy to start getting frustrated by other stuff and then miss over the middle.
1-1. Fastball misses above the belt. 2-1 around the letters, and now Triplett's going to take a walk. And I think Triplett is a little more frustrated with himself than he is the home plate umpire as he peers back in. But he's battling. He has been a warrior in the late innings tonight. He's come set, the 2-1. A swing and a high drive deep down the left field line, hooking well foul onto the berm beyond the left field wall.
I like Triplett stuff, though. For the most part, I know at times this year his ERA is above 5, and I know you're going to look at the stat line and go, well, that's not, where you really want to see it, but he's got good stuff, a rounded 90-mile-an-hour fastball, which is a big which is a big help. There's just times when he's been put in some tough situations where innings have continued, outside of, kind of his control. And that's really the story with multiple UVU pitchers this year.
Absolutely. He's been very good tonight, allowing some base runners, but working around it. 2-2 pitch on the way. Bases loaded here. Down in the dirt, turf, nice stop by Sims. That saves a run, sliding to his right. If a ball gets by Sims, it means a run for Tarleton. Now the count is full, and a walk would mean a run, obviously, with the bases loaded. So Triplett taking a long time, steps off the mound, exhales. He's got to come in. Nowhere to put Seltzer. 3-2 pitch. Walked him. Fastball missed low and away, and he walked in the go-ahead run. It is 4-3 Texans. And if you're Utah Valley, that one hurts a little extra because it is an unforced error, and that may do it for the right-hander Spencer Triplett, who pitched so well in the late innings, but ultimately cannot get out of the jam here in the 10th. He walks in the go-ahead run. It'll be Devin Smith, the right-hander, coming out of the bullpen. We'll take a break on the WAC Digital Network. 4-3 Tarleton, bases loaded here on the WAC Digital Network.
New pitcher on for Utah Valley. Right-hander Devin Smith takes over. Smith on the year has thrown 13 innings. No record, but does have 2 saves for the Wolverines. 10 walks to 18 strikeouts, and right here, Jordan, he's just looking to try to get this second out of the inning, keep the score at 1. This is the one advantage if you're Utah Valley in some ways. You're going to come up in the bottom of the 10th inning. You're going to know, hey, we need 1 run to tie, 2 to win, and we start with a runner in scoring position.
Exactly right. What a vital at bat for Smith here, because as you mentioned, Ryan, 2 runs is a whole lot different than just 1 if you start with a man at second in the bottom half. 4-3 Tarleton, bases still loaded, 2 outs in the top half of the 10th. Coming to bat, Dean Frew, the senior, hitting just .228 on the year. He has a couple of base hits tonight. He's 2 for 4. Righty versus righty. The pitch, Smith with the 91-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner, taken for strike 1. Well, fans, stick around after the ball game. We'll have a brief post-game commentary. But we're not done yet. 1 strike pitch is lined foul on the first base side, and it's 0-2. Another fastball from Smith at 91. Seltzer is at first. He walked with the bases loaded. He gets credited with an RBI. Rayburn is at second. He walked. Burns is at third. He walked. Coming in to score was Ferris, who started the inning at second. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Devin Smith lets out a holler. And an excellent job by Smith. 3 pitches, and Frew is gone. We head to the bottom of the 10th. Last chance for Utah Valley. They'll come up with a man at second base, trailing by a run. It will be Morales, Marco, and Polson, the heart of the order, coming up on the WAC Digital Network. Morales to lead off the 9th I beg your pardon, the 9th. To lead off the 10th, Utah Valley trailing by a run. Broussard made the last out in the 9th inning, so he's at second base to begin the 10th under this new, quote-unquote, the international rule. It sounds so cosmopolitan when you call it the international rule, right?
What's been used in softball for years. I mean, in Olympic softball, I think that's kind of where they came up with the international part of it, but different, we've seen this in Major League Baseball now. We've seen it all over the place where extra innings, they put the runner on second. I'm still getting used to it. I don't really know if I like it. I don't really know if I hate it. I mean, I just don't really know where I stand on the issue right now. But
well, right away, A.J. Woods stepped off and Morales gave away the bunt. He's trying to square up and bunt here. And now he says, no, I'm not. I'll take a fastball. And he thought it was inside, and Matt McMahon all night has been calling that a strike off the inside corner to right-handed batters. So Morales upset there. 0-1. Wood from the stretch. He came in relief back in the 8th inning. Broussard with his lead at second. The 1-strike offering. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. It's backhanded by Thomas Rivera. Throws to first to get the out, but that does move the runner to third. So Utah Valley can now tie it without getting a base hit. So a productive out there by Morales.
And that's where only getting the 1 run really kind of hurts you if you're Tarleton, because I was talking to our producer Ben in between innings, and I said, starting with that runner on second now, if you're Tarleton, you bring the infield in, but Jordan, starting with the runner on second, down by 1, Utah Valley, bunts the runner over, fly ball to the outfield. You don't have to. It doesn't really put pressure on you to get hits in this situation.
So the infield indeed will come in, and here is Marco. The pitch to him. A swing and a foul back to the screen. He was out in front of a breaking ball. Marco is very well capable of winning this one with one swing of the bat. The outfield is playing fairly shallow all the way around. So if Marco can drive one into the gap, he could run for quite a while. 0-1 to him. Polson on deck. 4-3 Tarleton in the bottom of the 10th inning. Wood throws. Check swing. Did he go around? He did on appeal to the first base umpire, Michael Chuckerman. Hard to tell up here, but Utah Valley faithful not happy with the call, and right away Marco in the hole, 0-2. Now Broussard does have pretty good speed at third base, so a fly ball to medium, deep, I'll bet you anything David Carter, the third base coach, will test the arms all the way around. 0-2 pitch to Marco. Wood would love a strikeout. Here it comes. A great take by Marco as a breaking ball misses low and away. 1-2. That's not an easy pitch to lay off when you're in protect mode. Everybody in on the infield, trying to cut down that run at home. The 1-2 pitch. Way outside with a slider. And it's 2-2. A nice job by Bloom to reach across his body and snag that one. If a ball gets by him, it would most likely mean a tie game. Broussard at third base. He was the man that started this extra inning at second. 2-2 to Marco, who is hitless tonight in 4 at-bats. 1 out in the inning. Here it comes. Swing and a liner, foul down the left field line. Alexander just out in front of the breaking ball, and the count remains at 2-2. Marco, 3 home runs on the season. 12 men batted home. Hitting .264. First time he's faced Wood. So important that he puts the ball in play here. Now time taken by Bloom, the catcher. Frew playing 5 or 6 steps off the third base bag. Broussard with a short lead down there. 4-3 Tarleton. Bottom of the 10th. The pitch to Marco. A swing and a fly ball. Right center field. This is going to be close. Green catches, tagging Broussard. He'll bluff. He won't come home, and it was an excellent decision. Green put one right on the spot, and you cannot make a better throw than London Green made out in right field. A one-hopper right to home plate. Wow.
Well, and you have to remember, too, you have to realize it's not just trying to make a good throw, but it's trying to realize, okay, I need to catch it. The runner's probably going with that adrenaline going when you try to make that throw. Utah Valley in a position right there, Jordan, where, yeah, you would have preferred to get the run home, but a big out there for Tarleton because let's change situation and say instead of a fly ball, let's say it's a walk. You're bringing a hitter in Cade Polson to the plate that's a good contact hitter with less than 2 outs in the situation. So if Polson hits a fly ball a little bit deeper, run scores. Now with 2 outs, you're going to force Cade Polson to have to come through with a hit. We'll see if Tarleton maybe pitches around Cade Polson. They may decide to throw to Drew Sims or go down to Mick Madsen and kind of play a numbers game. I know that's kind of dangerous with the 2-for-4 Drew Sims, but you might just be playing your scouting report or the statistics and saying, hey, Drew Sims has struggled at times this year. Let's take a chance and roll the dice.
Yeah, we'll see. Aaron Mead out there, the head coach, to have a word with his right-hander, Wood, as Polson comes to the plate. Last chance for Utah Valley. They trail 4-3 in the bottom of the 10th. Polson hitting from the right side. He has 2 hits tonight, 2-for-4. Base hit would tie the game. Broussard at third. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, strike taken on the outside corner. Polson this season hitting .262. .319 with runners on. 3 home runs. The outfield moves back to medium deep. Infield back as well with 2 outs. The 1-strike pitch to Cade. Swing and a miss. Chased a fastball. Well, I say the fastball. I think that was a slider. I beg your pardon. Now it's 0-2. Wood steps off, rubs up a new baseball. Well, if you're Wood, you don't want to come into the strike zone here, but you definitely don't want to bounce one with Broussard at third. 0-2 to Polson. Wolverines down by 1. Wood set. The pitch. Swing and a ground ball to second. Rivera has it, throws to first, and the ball game is over. Tarleton beats Utah Valley in 10 innings. By a score of 4-3. Well, an excellent job by the Texans, especially in the bottom of the 10th, leading by just 1 run. They start the inning with Utah Valley putting a man on second base. Utah Valley cannot score. So that's the ball game. We'll take a break here on the WAC Digital Network. Come back with the final game totals in just a bit. Once again, the final in 10 innings. Tarleton beats Utah Valley 4-3. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to UCCU Ballpark. I'm Jordan Bianucci alongside Ryan Pickens. The Wolverines fall tonight by a final of 4-3 in 10 innings, and although the Wolverines valiantly fought back, Ryan, trailing in the late innings, ultimately unforced errors really did it for Utah Valley. Give credit though to Tarleton State; they played a good ball game.
Yeah, it's one of those nights, and you and I have talked about this before, where sometimes you play well, the other team just plays better, and I mean tonight that was kind of the way both teams played well. They pitched well. Utah Valley maybe slow getting the bats going with with the way Pinedo had pitched early on in the ball game, going 7 innings, allowing 4 hits, 1 run, but once they got into that Tarleton bullpen, Utah Valley is able to kind of get the bats going a little bit. But, Jordan, we talked about it. You get into the later innings, and every situation kind of amplifies a little bit. And walks came back to really hurt Utah Valley tonight, and that was kind of a tough spot there late in the ball game. And just those 3 walks, I think it was, in the 10th inning really changed the whole course of the ball game.
Absolutely, but I want to make sure we don't focus on the pitching as losing this game, because the pitching kept Utah Valley, as you mentioned, in the game. The Wolverines had 7 hits. They were all singles. The Wolverines did not have an extra base hit. They are just not slugging at all right now.
Well, and you got what you wanted out of Jesse Schmidt. I mean, he pitched well. He left you in the ball game, even after maybe a struggling in the first inning, giving up I think 3 hits it was in the first inning that Tarleton got, and he left you, he kept you in the ball game and gave you an opportunity to win. But again, he pitched well, but the other guy on the other side pitched just a little bit better. And Jordan, it's those nights at the ballpark that's frustrating if you're on the losing side of those, because you did a lot of things to win, but unfortunately the other guy just played better.
Indeed. Well, I like that pick. I'm going Jesse Schmidt, and you really, my player of the game, you said it, so I'll throw it to you. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path a little bit here, because I really liked the game that Drew Sims had with those 2 base hits. You've been kind of looking for Drew Sims, maybe throughout even the last couple of years. Maybe some injuries have kind of slowed him down a little bit. I don't know that for sure, just a casual observation. But, for him, we've seen him at times show flashes of what he can do offensively. And if you could get that to be a little more consistent, that's going to give you a good bat in the middle of the lineup. And for Drew Sims tonight, 2 for 4, but even the hitters around him, Cade Polson 2 for 5, scored 2 runs. Mick Madsen was 2 for 2 with 2 walks. He was on base all 4 of his at-bats tonight. That's the kind of things you really need to see Utah Valley. They need to find a way to get more base runners and find a way to bring home and score some more runs, because they have the pitching to really be able to put together a lot of wins. But the offense needs to find a way to balance that out a little bit, get us some early runs where they're not pitching from behind all the time.
Absolutely. Utah Valley just not being able to come up with that big 2-run double, you could say. Again, 7 hits for Utah Valley, but just all singles tonight. And that's been a story this season for the Wolverines. We'll take a look at the final totals now. Tarleton State with 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. They left 11 men on base. Utah Valley with 3 runs on 7 hits. They had 1 error, and they left 8 men stranded. The winner is A.J. Wood. He was excellent in relief for Tarleton. He goes to 2-1 win-loss. Spencer Triplett gets the tough loss. He pitched really well until that 10th inning when he walked 3 guys, including 1 with the bases loaded. No save tonight. I should mention that the Tarleton State Texans, they improved to 13-23 overall, 6-11 in WAC play. The Wolverines fall to 6-24 overall. They are 4-13 in WAC play, and with Northern Colorado not in action tonight, the Wolverines have just a half a game lead on Northern Colorado to stay out of last place in the WAC and to get that 6th spot in the WAC tournament coming up in May. The time of the ball game was 3 hours and 14 minutes. 453 brave souls braved the cold weather tonight and were in the stands, and they stayed till the last out. A good crowd tonight for Utah Valley. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow, a doubleheader beginning at 1 p.m. We'll have it for you here on the WAC Digital Network. And then the second game of that doubleheader scheduled to begin approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of the first. Well, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and always it is a pleasure. For Ryan Pickens, I am Jordan Bianucci saying so long tonight from UCCU Ballpark, where Utah Valley falls in 10 innings to Tarleton State by a final